The following is a presentation of the Big Ten Conference.
They love their sailgating, and of course, they love their Washington Huskies here in Seattle. There are high hopes in Husky Nation for Jedd Fisch's second season, in large part because of the star potential of sophomore quarterback Demond Williams. Washington starts season 2 in the Big Ten with the final game of a dynamite Big Ten opening weekend. It's Colorado State at Washington next.
I hope you got your popcorn ready today because this has the potential to be a classic.
The Pinnacle, a place Big Ten football knows so well. Reaching the apex is why so many choose this storied conference. The reason they strap on the helmet and the motivation every time they step on the field.
Impossible to bring down.
Raise the trophy. Let the confetti rain. Bask in the everlasting glory.
It's Ohio State, champions of college football.
Now, after months of preparation, the quest to ascend to college football's peak begins again. With fresh faces eager to make their mark, and a cast of returning stars ready to shine.
Oh, he one-handed it again.
Their climb will be steep, wrought with adversity and triumph. But most things worth doing are.
Touchdown! Off to the races!
Welcome to the 2025 Big Ten football season. The Pinnacle awaits.
Football on the Big Ten Network is presented by Stanley Steamer. Welcome to Husky Stadium. It's been a long offseason and a long day of waiting, but it's time, everyone, for 70,000 strong to witness Colorado State and Washington. The Huskies have taken the field for their opener of the 2025 season here in Seattle, and we are so excited to bring you the action from Husky Stadium. Hi, everyone. I'm Mark Followill, joined by Lincoln Kennedy, former Washington All-American and NFL All-Pro. Lincoln, it's great to be here for the second season for Washington in the Big Ten. They're really excited about the offensive side of the ball. Star potential with young quarterback Demond Williams, but a veteran presence to help him in the backfield with Jonah Coleman.
Well, Mark, they say every quarterback's best friend is a healthy run game, and that's what Jonah Coleman brings to the set. The fact is that young man right there is the future of Husky football. Demond Williams has such promise with a strong, accurate arm and the ability to even stretch plays with his legs. And then you go to Coleman, the 1-2 punch right in the backfield. They're hoping to have a big three. We'll talk about Denzel Boston and that fix a little bit later, but Jonah Coleman is that back that always falls forward. I love watching him play football.
Well, optimism doesn't just extend on the offensive side, on the defensive side. A new coordinator, one of the best in the business, Ryan Walters. Talented starting caliber players coming over in the transfer portal, but 2 holdovers will be key. Zach Durfee up front, Ephesians Prysock in the back.
Ryan Wiltons coaches a very aggressive pro-style defense, and those 2 young players are going to be playing on Sundays in the future. Such promise. I'm expecting big things out of Durfee because he only played 6 games last year, and this is an excellent opportunity for him to increase his stock.
Back on the Husky side of the ball on offense, they're expecting big things from wide receiver Denzel Boston. And with more on Boston and his quarterback chemistry with Demond Williams, let's go down to the field and get more from Alyssa Charleston-Smith. Hi, Alyssa.
Yeah, hey, Mark. Jedd Fisch calls Denzel Boston the alpha, that X-receiver you build your offense around. He's a Biletnikoff Award watch list level player, but he's missed nearly the entire offseason, recovering from a double sports hernia surgery. So Jedd Fisch has said the last 2 weeks, that's where he's been full contact for the first time. They're emphasizing getting him the ball as much as possible to expedite that chemistry. Denzel told me that he and Damon spent a lot of time together outside of football, going out to dinner, watching college football, NFL preseason games. But Denzel isn't worried about the lack of live reps this offseason because of how accurate Damon Williams is. He saw the poise from a true freshman last year in environments like Oregon and a whiteout at Penn State. That connection will be crucial to see how successful the Huskies are in year 2 under Fisch.
Great report, Alyssa. Washington won the toss. They've deferred their option to the second half of the game, and they brought in Ethan Michalski to handle kickoff duties. He's got a great leg. We saw that 2 years ago at Texas A&M. We saw that last year in the Big Ten at Illinois. So there's Michalski ready to kick it off. And Colorado State has bolstered their return game potentially in the transfer portal with the addition of Lloyd Avant from Tulsa, where he had a 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown last year, and he averaged 28 yards per return, which was 8th best in FBS, and he's got the ball. Avant breaks one tackle at the 20, still going 25, and stopped around the 28-yard line for the first possession of the game for Colorado State on offense. They were 8-5 last year, 6-1 in conference play, and a big reason why is very good quarterback play. A junior from Aledo, Texas, will lead them out on the field. That is Braden Fowler Nicolosi, after the nice return by Lloyd Avant out to the 28-yard line. There's Fowler Nicolosi. 25 starts at Colorado State as quarterback. Last year, passed for nearly 2,800 yards, 14 passing touchdowns, 4 rushing touchdowns, 1 receiving touchdown. The only player in the Mountain West Conference to check all 3 of those boxes, that is, of a passing, rushing, and receiving touchdown. They run the football. Their starting running back is Jalen Dupree, and Dupree is quite close to first down yardage. Mikel Esteen at safety makes the tackle, but Dupree, a redshirt freshman from Malvern, Arkansas, didn't burn his redshirt despite 25 carries last year. And Dupree with a very nice run.
Very nice run to open up the game. They came out and showed the Huskies had to adjust to nickel defense, and they did the smart thing, run against the nickel.
They already have Taj Bullock into the game, and he is a slash-type player for them on offense. But it's Dupree catching the pass, and down goes Dupree on the tackle by Jacob Lane.
Nice open field tackle that time by Jacob Lane on a little flare route, a little check down route to prevent the first down.
There's the Rams offense. Really intrigued to see tight end Jackson Warren. He's 6'8", 245.
Big target.
Christian Martin is the left tackle who played 13 games last year. They've got a good starting right tackle in Aaron Karras, who was an honorable mention All-Mountain West Conference selection. Third down, deep throw, Fowler Nicolosi, and good coverage. It's broken up by transfer to Tacario Davis on a pass that was intended for Jordan Ross.
Tacario Davis, another tall, lanky defensive back. And they have such a luxury that they can play in the secondary man coverage. Look how he starts to run the route, uses his arm bar to connect with the receiver, and all of a sudden just position. It's got to be a near perfect ball to go over him. Good coverage by Davis.
Davis was a Jim Thorpe Award finalist last year at Arizona. 3 years Arizona had 1 interception. Marker down before the punt, as we see Brian Hansen on the field ready to punt the ball. 9 punts last year for an average of 41 yards. The redshirt junior from Colleyville, Texas.
47. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Always a difficult place here for visiting teams to come in. Such a loud, an awesome environment. What's even better, it's a night game. You have a night game at Husky Stadium. Oh, that is something always to remember. See if the Huskies make it memorable tonight as well.
Force back 5 yards on the false start. And now the punt by Brian Hansen. Had a 9-yard run on first down, but the drive went backwards. Jacob Lane made a big play on second down. There's a marker down on the punt. Denzel Boston caught it at the 28. Broke 1 tackle, but then he's taken to the turf. Ball came out right there at the end as he surged over the 35-yard line and officially spotted at the 36. It's a 43-yard punt on the first punt of the night by Brian Hansen.
It should be illegal formation or illegal procedure on the Rams. See what the Huskies and Jedd Fisch want to do.
Well, they already made a mistake on 4th down going back 5 yards.
Correct.
And to your point, we will see what the Huskies do
5 in the
here.
backfield, kicking team. 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. First down for Washington.
The field possession will be even better for Demond Williams. He played in all 13 games last year, starting 2 of them. The freshman from Basha High School in Chandler, Arizona. You see him running it into the end zone in the Sun Bowl. And now Williams takes the field. He is not without starting experience. 2 starts at the end of last year against Oregon, then the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl in El Paso against Louisville. 575 yards, 83% of his passes were complete, 6 total touchdowns, 5 of them through the air, and only 1 interception. And starts the game with a handoff. This is good field position for the 41 to the 44 for Jonah Coleman. Lincoln.
Well, last year the Huskies could not protect their quarterback and gave up a lot of sacks. Couldn't run the ball, couldn't pass the ball. One of the reasons why they ended the season with a 6-7 record. So this year, what did they do? They went out in the transfer portal and addressed it, and they've got some good ones. Pay particularly close attention to left tackle Carver Willis, who I'm going to be talking about throughout the night because I think that young man can play on Sundays as well.
Jedd Fisch said yesterday the offensive line really connected as a group. They like each other. They're playing well together in fall camp. They block well for Demond Williams, who throws it down the field for Denzel Boston, and it's broken up at the last minute. And a key transfer from SMU, Jahari Rogers, defensively prevents a long pass connecting to Denzel Boston.
Colorado State decided to bring a blitz one-on-one. The safety is too shallow, and I don't know how that's not pass interference. Coming down on Denzel before the ball is delivered, coming down against his arm. Looks like a classic case of pass interference to me.
It will be 3rd down and 7 now. Coleman in the backfield. Washington last year converted 36.5% of 3rd downs. The FBS average was 40%. Williams is flush from the pocket. He runs. He's taken down around the sideline and taken down at midfield, which is 1 yard short. A.J. Nolan at safety made a big tackle along the sideline. It's 4th and 1, Lincoln.
Huge tackle because you thought that Demond Williams was going to be able to get that first down and more with this speed. But way to close A.J. Nolan from his safety spot. Come underneath the possible block by the tight end. Set up a 4th down. Analytics say go for it.
Nolan, a redshirt freshman from Tualatin, Oregon. Portland suburb, made a big stop. Now Williams on 4th and 1, and they'll throw it underneath and Root to easily pick up the first down. Jonah Coleman, and picks up a lot more than the first down. Ball's inside the 30 to the 28 of Colorado State, a gain for 22.
Well called, well-designed play that time. Jedd Fisch's offense, you see the little flare route go to the flat immediately. Colorado State brought a blitz, put a guy in his face. But Demond Williams did a good job getting rid of the ball. Yards after the catch. Big play for the Huskies, first down.
Lincoln, the Huskies went for it 25 times on 4th down last year. They converted 12 of those 25 4th down opportunities. 1 for 1 to start 2025.
Not bad.
Williams to throw on 1st and 10 at the Rams 28. All day to throw. Rasheed Williams catches the ball, forced backwards. His forward progress is a short gain, only 2 yards. Williams is one of the 3 starting wide receivers, but how about true freshman Raiden Vines-Bright, who Jedd Fisch simply said practiced better than anyone else, so that's why he earns the start as a true freshman. And also starting as a true freshman, Lincoln, John Mills on the offensive line at left guard.
Well, as a proud alum, I heard the rumblings when it came to number 72, John Mills, how excited they are. And this is a great job, a great drive, and this is a great way to finish it.
As a party, a big block, the run by Coleman, he's in, touchdown! They run behind the right side, not the left side, and Coleman scores from 26 yards out. Huskies convert on the first drive of the season.
Mark, that offensive line did a phenomenal job at blocking the front 7, isolating Jonah Coleman to be on a possible safety. Safety took a poor angle for Colorado State, got caught inside, and there was nothing but green dirt outside. Look how the offensive linemen buy the blocks. Score with your man and push them to the end zone if you can. Jonah Coleman does the rest as he breaks in for a touchdown.
Well, we were talking about the true freshman starting at left guard, but Drew Azzopardi who transferred in from San Diego State and started 13 games at right tackle last year, is believed to be much improved, bigger and stronger, and he showed it there. Lincoln plowing the road for the long run by Coleman, and then Grady Gross nails the extra point. He's connected on all of his extra points in his career here at Washington. Jonah Coleman, 10 touchdowns on the ground last year, the first of 2025 from 26 yards out. Well, yesterday when we talked with Jedd Fisch, he said, you don't know what you are in the first game of the season, but we think we're good, and the reason why is Jonah Coleman is back for a fourth year. And he accounted for 51 of the 59 yards on the Washington touchdown drive. That includes the 26-yard touchdown run and a 22-yard catch on 4th and 1 Lincoln from the 50-yard line.
Well, what I was impressed with him so much watching him last year is that the fact is he ran for over 1,000 yards and averaged 5.5 yards per carry. That's absolutely phenomenal, and it's a big help for this Husky offense. They struggled at offensive line, but they struggled to protect. But Jonah Coleman did his part and ran hard all season.
And we should not overlook that he did catch the ball 23 times last year.
Correct.
So the fact that he was able to secure that fourth down was very impressive. As we bring you the Auto Owners Insurance Impact Players of the game, Colorado State on offense, Washington on defense.
I honestly tell you, when I look at these guys, Ephesian Prysack and Zach Durfee, they are promising guys that should be playing on Sunday. It is not every day, ladies and gentlemen, where you have a 6'4" defensive back. And now that, working with Pete Carroll down with the Raiders, he likes tall, slender defensive backs. Both of these, Tacario Davis and Ephesians Prysack, are the real deal.
Auto Owners Insurance, simple, human, sense, are impact players of the game. Colorado State will try to settle things down, starting from the 25. Jalen Dupree had a 9-yard run on first down last time, and then they went backwards. He has a 6-yard run on first down here.
Last year, the Huskies had a difficult time stopping the run. One of the reasons why they made the changes that they did, not only for coaching and personnel, got to do a better job as you enter Big Ten football this season.
Taj Bullock, transfer from Akron, is in the game. Is Nicolosi going to throw his way? He will, and Bullock did catch it. Bullock is not just a quarterback. He can run it, he can catch it. In his time at Akron, he did have 10 receptions last year, and he has that one for a first down out to the 47. That went for 16.
That can't happen because the Huskies only rushed 3, so that means they have 8 dropping in coverage. You should not be able to complete an underneath route. You got to do a better job.
Well, head coach Jay Norvell and offensive coordinator Matt Mumme said they had to figure out how to use him because he could help them score points, but they know how to use Jalen Dupree, starting running back. Has had some nice runs on first down, 9 on his first carry, 6 then before that, and 19 on that play before being brought down by Tarek Buda Al-Ukta.
Well, as I said before, the Huskies did not do a good job last year at stopping the run. You see a number of missed tackles and poor angles on that last instance, but they're going to come back to Dupree as much as possible because the Huskies have not shown any signs of stopping him.
Washington State transfer. Buda Al-Ukta with an important tackle.
Pass.
And now this is flipped back. Bullock's going to throw it up for grabs. And he was throwing that back to Braden Fowler-Nicolosi.
Yeah, Nicolosi snuck out as well as the tight end, but the Huskies did a good job at covering him up. They had the defense completely fooled because the tight end snuck out for a deep dig route. And he had his chance. He had a choice.
See the hit by Devin Bryant.
Yeah,
after Bullock threw it. And Colorado State has their players pronounce their names, so he does go with the, if you're familiar with the NBA, the Reggie Bullock style pronunciation of the last name B-U-L-L-O-C-K, Bullock. McKellis Steen with the tackle on the Jalen Dupree run for 5 yards on second down. McKellis Steen, part of the Huskies defense. Zach Durfee, remember what a good pass rusher he is. 6 games played last year, about 2.5 sacks. Buda Al-Ukta, 116 tackles in 2 years at Washington State at linebacker. He had 4 interceptions. And then Tacario Davis,
Another 6'4" corner opposite Ephesians Prysock. What size they have in the secondary.
It is very impressive.
Justin Marshall's come in the game as a 3rd down back on 3rd and 5. Open field tackle, and that's a key transfer. Alex McLaughlin made the tackle on the catch by Jalen Dupree. The spot is around the 26, between the 25 and the 26-yard line of Washington.
Well, you had what you want in Washington blitz, so you threw the quick out, hoping that your receiver can break a tackle and get on the second level. But as you mentioned, McLaughlin did a good job closing in, setting up a 4th down and short.
He was an all-Big Sky All-American at FCS Northern Arizona. Bullock's the quarterback. On 4th down, they're going for it. He darts to the outside. Maybe has the 1st down.
Yep.
This is close to the 24.
Looks like the side judge registered already. It's a 1st down. There you go. Confirmation from the ref. He said it's just an option play. Bullock has a chance, but he's using his big size to help break down the defense. Good job by the offensive line to sustain blocks and give him a chance. Just enough for the 1st down.
Well, certainly we have seen that Bullock is going to be used a number of different ways by the group from Fort Collins, Colorado. 8-5 record for Colorado State last year. Now, sprinting off to the outside. A lot of room to run. A 1st down and goal coming up because of Jalen Dupree. Down to the 5, and then late as he was being tackled, a penalty flag came in. 19-yard run for the 2nd time on the drive for Jalen Dupree.
Wait to see what the refs have here. I didn't see anything egregious, but
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 12. Is half distance from the other run. Automatic, 1st down.
Oh, interesting. McLaughlin gets called for a face mask, and I'm not sure on the field where he was. Let's watch. Here it is at the end of the tackle. He's got Dupree. Oh, I see right there, right there. It's a clean call. Surprised the back judges who wanted through the flag, though.
1st and goal to the 2, and it's a read option and in for Bullock. Well, they have found a way to use a new weapon for Colorado State. Taj Bullock runs it in from 2 yards out, and you see how fired up head coach Jay Norvell is for the Rams. What a drive, 75 yards, and Bullock had his hands and feet all over it.
Well, they did it all on the ground on this drive. Big play after big play, getting down there. Of course, having some help by the penalty, getting closer, but they showed that they are a physical team by pushing the Huskies back for a score.
From Little Rock, Arkansas, he spent 4 years at Baylor. Transfer portal kicker Isaiah Hankins to tie the score, and he does. On that drive, Bullock caught a pass. He threw another pass. It was incomplete, and he ran on 2 important plays, converting 4th and short, and then on the 1st and goal to 2 for the score, and it's tied now in Seattle with just over 8 minutes gone by in the 1st quarter. This is season 4 at Colorado State for Jay Norvell, the native of Madison, Wisconsin, who played at Iowa. Got a lot of familiarity with Big Ten country, of course. But he told us on Thursday, Taj Bullock is a playmaker who's played at 2 different places. Virginia Tech for a year, Akron for 2 years. He said, we're going to try to find a way to use his skills. What that looks like, we'll have to wait and see, but he can help us score points. And he absolutely did that on the last drive. Lincoln.
It's just having a little bit of a changeup at the quarterback position. He can use his legs. He showed off his arm, even though the pass was a little bit short. It's just the versatility there for Jay Norvell and his staff.
Hankins slipped on the kickoff. Here's Adam Muhammad on the return. It was a short kick because of a slip by Hankins. Ball over the 35 on the return to the 36. Right now, the first 1,000 fans will get $20 off a Big Ten Plus annual pass and get access to over 2,700 more events across the Big Ten this season. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to BigTenPlus.com and make sure you enter 20 off when selecting an annual pass at checkout to take advantage of this offer. If you're a Huskies fan, you can See Leslie Gabriel and the outstanding volleyball team. They played Colorado State this evening. Went to the NCAA tournament again last year. Right now, though, Washington, second drive of the game. The first one was outstanding. Jonah Coleman finished it off with a long run. And they'll go to Coleman again. Good field position to start both of their drives. The last one started at the 41. This one at the 36 and a gain of 4 on first down.
When you're averaging 4 or 5 yards a crack, as the Huskies are doing running the football, that means the holes are going to get bigger as the game continues.
They ran up to the line, Lincoln, to snap it quickly and a rollout and throw. And Rasheed Williams with his second catch of the game. And good enough for a first down. Jahari Rogers a tackle, but after the necessary yardage was picked up to the 47.
Now you see tempo here by the Dogs back on the line of scrimmage.
Downhill run, Coleman. And over midfield, a gain of 5 for Jonah Coleman. Impact Players sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense. And here they are, Lincoln.
Well, Jonah and Coleman can be that 1-2 punch for this Huskies team, and it's up to that guy right there, Demond Williams Jr., the quarterback, to get the ball to his playmakers.
Jaquez Evans, a transfer from Baylor. Really important player on the Colorado State defense. Decker DeGraff absorbs a big hit. And the young tight end, the sophomore who we saw start off so well last year, touchdowns on his first 2 receptions with the Huskies. He hangs on to the ball at the 40 of Colorado State. There's more tempo again.
Well, it's just a way to try to establish and look at Colorado State doing their best to stand up to the onslaught that the Huskies are bringing at them by going a quick tempo. It shows a resound, appreciation of Williams Jr. at quarterback, Mark, because you can give him that time to make decisions to get them in the right place during the checks. That time they huddled up. We'll see if it's called play.
Coleman did not pick up any yardage on that first down run. Now he's being spelled by Adam Muhammad, and it's up high and caught. Rasheed Williams. He's been a preferred target of Demond Williams early in the game. That went for 9 yards before Lamondre Cho, a transfer from Missouri State, who had 7 interceptions in 4 seasons for the Bears.
Williams to Williams, yeah, it's a little too high. If he could have kept him down, he might have been able to get for the first down. You see how Williams came out of the catch, and Tripp just came up a little bit short. 3rd down and 1 for the Dogs.
Williams had 11 catches all of last year. Rasheed Williams has 3 catches so far tonight. Sophomore from Brentwood, California. Now Muhammad. And a running play picks up the first down on 2nd down and 1. It's a gain of 4 for Adam Muhammad from Glendale, Arizona.
Good push that time, Mark, by Carver Willis, the left tackle, John Mills, the left guard, and Landon Hatchett, the center. Good push to just get that yard necessary for the first down. Had a philosophy as offensive lineman: you score or you get the first down with your man. That's how far you want to push them off the line.
Well, after Muhammad picked up 4 on 2nd and short, he stays in the game, but Coleman is back in as well. And he goes in motion, Coleman does. Nice job by Muhammad, the running back, in pass protection. And Williams will roll out and opt to tuck it under and run. And a nice running play by Williams down to the 22-yard line of the Rams. And sophomore linebacker Owen Long has been busy making multiple tackles on that drive, including that one.
You're absolutely right, Mark. He found himself in the right place in the right time, and he didn't go for the fake by Williams, and that was really good. So he did a good job at standing his ground and limiting the amount of gain once Williams broke into the secondary.
5 yards picked up on the run by Demond Williams. He threw for over 10,000 yards in high school in Chandler, Arizona. One of 8 players in Arizona high school history to do that. Coleman running. Lamondre Cho in the open field with an important tackle because Coleman looked like he had a lot of room to run, but Lamondre Cho holds him to a very short gain.
Joe was up close to the line of scrimmage, kind of playing a little bit of Buzz Rover coverage, and it does well at just shooting the gap and getting to Coleman before he got a full head of steam. Got some movement. False start.
Yep. Washington averaged about 6 penalties a game last year for around 52 yards. Their second one of tonight's game.
Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Yeah, that's Azzopardi, the right tackle. Look, he's trying to hold his water out of his stance. Sees movement, just starts it up. Gets a little too early. Comes out of his hands.
Well, it's a more difficult situation now. Moving the Huskies back to 3rd down and 10. And they're on 27. And under pressure. And it's Lamondre Joe with another play. He wasn't the only one. There were several players who collapsed the pocket, including New Mexico State transfer Gabe Jones, number 95.
Well, Demond Williams is going to wish he had this one back because he was looking to go up top. It's a full blitz. They're bringing one more than the Dogs can handle in blocking, even with max protection, and there's just no chance. He's got to get rid of the ball.
And now for the Huskies, Luke Dunn is in the game, transfer from Oregon. Didn't punt a lot over the last 2 seasons for the Ducks. When he did, he averaged 42 yards, but not concerned with average here, concerned with pinning them in really poor field position, and they do!
Great play. Outstanding special teams.
Going to be a touchback.
Oh, they said touchback? It must have been in the end zone. Must have been in the end zone when he first touched the ball after he crossed the line.
Ruling on the field as the ball broke the plane of the goal line. It was touched in the end zone. It's a touchback. Timeout.
You can see long snapper Ryan Keene is back.
He was in the air. I thought if he's not touched ground, but it is what it is. They start on 20.
Timeout on the field with 1:09 left in the first quarter. Colorado State ball, touchback on the punt. Our rules expert Steve Stremling can walk us through what happened here as Washington tried. Ryan Keene, the long snapper, tried to bat it back into the field of play, Steve.
Yeah, this is a good play. This is the rule difference between the NFL and college. It's not the position of the player, but where the ball is when he touches it. So it hasn't touched in the end zone, but it is in the end zone, and then that will become a touchback.
And you can clearly see Ryan Keene, the long snapper, in the end zone. The ball's broken the plane. And so it's a touchback on the punt. Run play, Jalen Dupree. And bumped out of bounds by McEllisteen, the safety.
Well, that last play, Mark, they still don't have an answer for Dupree, who's running wild and from the backfield. They even had an 8-man box and still couldn't contain him. Picks up 5. Huskies got to do a better job at stopping the run, or it's going to be a long night for this defense.
Well, that's exactly what Jedd Fisch said yesterday. He said, we'll be much better if we run the football and stop the run. He's talking to him about their sack numbers, but he said it's more about running the football and stopping it as the key to putting a better record on the board than 6 and 7 this year. That was Samote Pepa and Ontario Thompson on the tackle. Thompson, number 54, has played at Iowa Western, Iowa, and Western Michigan. So junior college, Big Ten, and the MAC, and now back in the Big Ten at Washington.
Well, I think Colorado State's well going to be able to let this quarter run out. But they have a positive drive and a 3rd down and 2 as they go into the second quarter.
First drive of the game was outstanding for Washington. Colorado State had an answer. And then Washington had a drive that fizzled out due to penalties and a Colorado State sack. And so we go to the second quarter on level terms. Washington and Colorado State tied at 7 here on the Big Ten Network.
Welcome back to Husky Stadium. Coach, first quarter, some jitters on both sides, and this was a team that you didn't know very well, but what was your evaluation for your team?
Yeah, offensively, we had 2 drives. One we scored on, one we had a false start that knocked us out of a good situation. And then defensively, we had a great 3 and out. And then the last one, they drove down and scored. So it's a balanced game right now. We got to figure out a way to get a stop and a score.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thanks.
That's Jedd Fisch, and they want to get the stop right now, and they do. 3rd down and 2. And it's Buda Alukta with a big stop on a running play by Jalen Dupree. You know, we talked to Jedd Fisch yesterday, and he said we've got to do better when it comes to tackles for loss on that whole notion of being better against the run. and they just had a big TFL.
What Buddha did there is he played it really well outside in contain, forced Dupree to go back inside and did a nice open field tackle. Nice job by the young linebacker right there.
And now a punt by Brian Hansen. It's a good one. Backtracking Boston to the 19. Flag is down. Hit hard at 25, driven forward. The punt by Hansen, 54 yards.
Yeah,
and there's also a marker down as well.
Yeah, I think this too is going to go against the Huskies and back them up a little further. They might possibly have a legal block in the back.
Penalty hurt the last offensive drive, and it's going to hurt the starting field position
legal
here.
Block in the back. Receiving team number 0. 10-yard penalty. First down. Timeout.
There's a timeout on the field early in the second quarter. Washington the football, and a game tied at 7. Early second quarter, Huskies football, game tied at 7 here in Seattle. Tomorrow, the opening Spike Classic continues at the Kohl Center in Madison. 2 marquee women's volleyball matchups. Wisconsin faces Texas, 2 top 8 teams there. Followed by Creighton against Kansas. Coverage starts at 2 Eastern, 11 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Already in that Spike Classic, Wisconsin has won their second match of the season in as many matches, with a 5-set victory earlier over Kansas. Quick pass. Denzel Boston catches, fights off a tackle, puts his foot in the ground and stays in bounds. And then a burst up the sideline for a first down. That helps them get out of bad field position as Boston caught it and broke a tackle and went for 18.
Oh, this is a good call this time by Jimmy Doherty, the offensive coordinator for the Huskies, because he got Boston out in space, who did the rest with his legs after breaking a tackle. They did that at 12 personnel, which is 2 tight ends, and had Boston go in motion to isolate that he was man-on-man coverage on the wing.
After 63 catches last season, Denzel Boston has his first this year. Adam Muhammad running the ball, left side, over the 30. That ends up being a pretty positive first down run. Lincoln, a pickup of 6 from the 28 to the 34.
You know, so far the Dogs are doing a good job running the football, but they're also having issues on the other side of stopping the football. If they can become a balanced team, they can really they have their threats of playmakers. Denzel Boston, we talked about, Jonah Coleman, also at back. You see the backfield. The offensive line is doing a good job so far in this game, Mark, by handling the front 7.
Quentin Moore is back this year at tight end. He's in motion. Williams escapes a sack, throws on the run, and it's complete. And that is the first collegiate catch for the true freshman from Marana, Arizona, Desmond Roebuck, who caught more passes in high school than any player in Arizona high school history. 325. That's his first collegiate catch, and it went for 23.
Mark, this is why Demond Williams is so special. The fact that he can use his legs, escape, and how about that shot sort of across his body on an angle, receiver running out the opposite way. Great job by the right-hand quarterback.
Marana, Arizona, just outside of Tucson, where Roebuck was so good in high school. There's Adam Muhammad with another run. That's a 3-yard pickup on first down.
Well, just look at Demond. Evade the rush. They realize he's got a dog coming in unblocked, escapes, still squares up his shoulders as he's pointing downfield, throws a dart. Extend this drive.
Timeout. Colorado State.
Charge timeout. Colorado State. They're first.
Nice catch by Roebuck, and this drive is at the 40-yard line of the Rams as they call a timeout on defense.
He is as competitive as anybody I've been around. He is also a great teammate, but he's going to be a special player for us. And he's going to lead our team, and he's very athletic, and he's got a great arm, and he can run, and he's smart, and he's a good leader and a good student. So we're excited.
Jedd Fisch speaking at Big Ten Media Days. You see the Demond Williams Jr. downfield throw numbers from his 2 starts at the end of last season. Jedd Fisch told us yesterday those 2 starts showed him the games weren't too big for Williams. and he's going to be a top quarterback in the country.
No doubt.
Hands the ball off. Nope, going to keep it. And didn't pick up much.
Yeah, that time tried to do the RPO, and credit Colorado State for doing a great job of putting themselves in position to defend it with their backers. That was Jacquez Evans. Look on the outside, you see it come down. Jacquez Evans does a great job, and then you have the assistants followed up there by Chance Harrelson, the strong safety. He's reading the defensive end and decides to keep the ball, but he doesn't see the strong safety come off the edge.
Jacquez Evans, really important player. Tyson Summers, the new defensive coordinator at Colorado State, coached him at Western Kentucky. Throw by Williams, third down, wide open. Denzel Boston caught it, trying to drag a tackler into the end zone and just short.
That's short.
A.J. Nolan brought down Boston on the lip of the cup, but it's a great pass again by Damon Williams. It goes for 39 yards.
And he falls just short. You can see the elbow go down. Good call by the refs. Huskies are hurry up tempo.
They've done this quite a bit in the first half. They've got Muhammad in the backfield, and he runs, and he stretches, and he shorts. Owen Long kept him out of the end zone.
And this is where the Tyson Summers defensive coordinator comes in to play, because he does a lot of change-ups, even when teams do hurry up. That time the Huskies were not well assigned to their executing, to their blocking assignment.
Defense. The 12th player did not get off the field prior.
Get away with a hold. Denzel Boston comes up. Great job by the offensive line there too, Mark, because they picked up a blitz, allowed him to have the time to find Denzel Boston down the field for the big play. Put them on goal line.
There was a marker down that will move the ball half the distance. And this is 1st and goal after the penalty. And no problem this time. Touchdown, Washington, Muhammad.
This time the offensive line did a good job at limiting the amount of penetration that happened on the first play. Easy score by Adam Muhammad. Great job picking up the blitz on that Denzel Boston catch as well. Look at the push. Look how many white jerseys are in the end zone. That's what you call scoring with your man. Good job by the Dogs.
Adam Muhammad with his first touchdown. Had 113 rushing and receiving touchdowns in Glendale, Arizona in high school. One short of the Arizona high school record set by Bijan Robinson. So Adam Muhammad had a nose for the end zone in high school, and he savors the flavor of the Washington Husky Stadium end zone for the first time as a sophomore. It's just a very easy run from inside the 1-yard line. The long pass play to Denzel Boston set it up, and Adam Muhammad celebrates restoring the lead for the Huskies. Football on the Big Ten Network is brought to you by Stanley Steamer. Game day gets messy. Stanley Steamer brings the clean. And brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance. What a party scene that is. The sailgating on Lake Washington. Lincoln, you saw that a time or two in your days here at UW.
I didn't get a chance to experience it until after I left. Too busy playing on the football field, but it is a wonderful experience, a wonderful tradition in Seattle.
Kickoff after the 1-yard touchdown run by Adam Muhammad. And it's returned for the 2-yard line. Lloyd Avant, transferred from Tulsa. He's a good kick returner. We mentioned that earlier, that he had one for a score last year. And that one's past midfield. Lloyd Avant with the kick all the way down to the Huskies' 47-yard line. Let's go back to the touchdown a moment ago. You know, yesterday Jimmy Doherty said it's really exciting to be able to coach two brothers, Landon Hatchett at center, and back at Washington after a year at Oklahoma is Garen Hatchett, who played here previously. He said, I've never coached two brothers together on the offensive line.
I've never had the pleasure of covering two brothers together on the offensive line.
Lincoln, he said, Jimmy said offensive lines, a new offensive coordinator,
yep.
Jimmy Doherty, said offensive lines have got to play as one.
Yes.
What better than two brothers to do that? He said Garen's got a true love for the program being back here, and the bond between them is permeated to the whole offensive line.
Yeah, both of his brothers went to Ferndale High School, which is here in Washington. And so there's pride, there's Husky pride that's running through their blood. But that's awesome, the fact that they can play together. And they did a good job on that last touchdown play.
But speaking of doing a good job, that's exactly what Lloyd Avant did for Colorado State. His average per kick return last year, 28 yards, 8th in FBS. And the one he just had a moment ago, officially a 51-yard return from the 2-yard line to the Husky 47. Splendid field position. Now Braden Fowler Nicolosi made a pump fake, looked like he was going to run and lost his footing and falls forward to the line of scrimmage.
I'm not sure what happened there, but it looked like he was trying to go to Jackson Warner, his tight end, but got held up by Buddha, the linebacker outside, right there. And normally when it's a pass play, they'll call that defensive holding. The Huskies are very fortunate that it wasn't called.
Jacob Lane ended up on the tackle. Taj Bullock is back in. That weapon for Colorado State. He was on the slot on the left side. Fowler Nicolosi deep down the middle of the field and incomplete. Overthrows the intended receiver, Tay Lanier, a transfer from Northern Arizona.
They got what they want. They got what they wanted on that last play, Mark. The fact is, they got the safety decided to play shallow, got caught up in it. This is a good ball. If it's a good ball, it's a touchdown. Nicolosi staring down the protection, decides to stand tall in the pocket. Now this place is getting loud.
On 3rd down and 10. Fowler Nicolosi will creep up behind the center. Heitor Uriana Barnechea. Handoff Dupree. Remember, this drive started after the great kick return by Lloyd Avant, but it goes nowhere. 3rd down and 10 run. 2 yards picked up. Dupree knocked off his feet by Devin Bryant, the sophomore linebacker from Carson, California.
Well, the only time you call plays like this is if you know you're going to go for it on 4th down, because it really wasn't a good handoff. It was a good handoff, but wasn't a good run. And now you're on the plus side of the field for the Colorado State Rams. They want to go for it.
And now Fowler Nicolosi is dropped way back. They're going to quick kick it. It was 4th and 8, and Fowler Nicolosi does a nice job here. It's rolling and stops inside the 2-yard line, officially at the 1.
That surprised me too. I didn't know Nicolosi had it in him, Mark, but apparently he's a man that's capable of doing a lot of things.
Nice little pooch punt. 44 yards. The tight end Jackson Warren got downfield and killed it at the 1-yard line. Washington has a 7-point lead and really tough field position coming up. Well, they say in Jonah we trust, but for Washington's offense and Jimmy they trust. Jimmy Doherty, who's been with Jedd Fisch at Michigan, UCLA, Arizona, moved up from quarterbacks coach last year here at UW to offensive coordinator. Had a great conversation with him yesterday, Lincoln. He said the fall camp prep was great. Consistency of approach, work ethic, standard that the group set. We've shown solid fundamental football. Players in the system for multiple years has helped. Now it's just a matter of doing it in front of 70,000 in the first game.
And then you jump off sides.
Ooh, and when you're starting on the 1-yard line after the pooch punt by Braden Fowler Nicolosi of the Rams, and the tight end Jackson Warren downing it.
To the goal. First down.
You know, yeah, it's a little bit difficult when you're starting in the hole like this, but really no reason. Jaron knows better. He cannot have a false start. No penalties.
The ball is inside the 1-yard line now, and then a quick pass complete. And they are able to work their way out of the shadow of their own goalpost with Denzel Boston catching it for a first down.
Well, there's some creativity right there by Jedd Fisch and Jimmy Doherty. Fake the inside handoff, and then it's just a quick stop route to Denzel Boston. Colorado State's looking for the run. No heads up to the, just not even aware of the short pass to Boston.
By the way, John Mills is back at left guard. We saw Paki Finau play some on that last drive. And there's a pass coming across the field. Caught Decker DeGraff. DeGraff, the sophomore tight end, 15 catches last year. That's 2 tonight. Just a short gain, though, 3 yards.
They just meticulously working your way from the goal line. Short passes, getting what the defense takes you. Smart by Demond Williams so far. Nice little delivery, little sidearm pass there.
Well, the good news is, Lincoln, that penalty only turned 1st and 10 to first down at 10.5. So the pass to Boston helped, and now Williams is keeping it. Flag is down, but look at Williams go. Some breathtaking speed there in the open field, and it looked like something very special could happen.
I think this is coming back. I think it's going to be a legal formation on the Dogs.
The run was for 29 yards if the play stands, but Washington in jeopardy of another penalty.
Yeah, sloppy ball.
4 penalties in this game. No, it's on Colorado State.
Oh, wow. I misspoke. I took the body language of the offense walking back like it was on them. I didn't see that.
So not only a very nice running play for Demond Williams, but then 5 yards tacked on at the end as well.
Well, I think they said that was on. Oh, that was on Gill Jr., number 39. I guess he's in the neutral zone.
Now the ball's at the 43. And it's a short pass, and DeGraff is bumped down outside the 45. Almost broke that tackle and stayed on his feet, but Owen Long has been in on a number of tackles so far in this game for the Rams on defense, and helps hold DeGraff here to just 3 yards.
Owen has the he has the coverage on DeGraff. Does a good job escaping the block by the right tackle, Drew Azabardi, and still getting in on the play. Good job. Owen's been the tackling machine all so far.
Head coach Jay Norvell and defensive coordinator Tyson Summers raved about him because he's young and he's a captain. And he makes another tackle, but this one way farther downfield on the run. The burst by Jonah Coleman. Precisely what the Husky offense needed. A jolt of Jonah, and inside the 40-yard line to the 39 of the Rams.
Well, as I told you, Mark, what impressed me most about this young man is he's always falling forward. He's carrying Owen Long for a good 5 yards before he falls to the ground. Look at this. Look at his strength. And that's great running by that young man.
Remember, over 830 yards gained after contact last year, but not this time.
Oh, this time he was stopped in his track. There was so much penetration by the Rams on the opposite side of the ball. Look at that, 78% of the time, 78.6 after contact. It's impressive.
Best amongst all 1,000-yard rushers in FBS last year. But for him, there was nothing he could do because of the penetration led by New Mexico State transfer Gabe Jones for Colorado State on the last play. The loss was 3 yards as we go under 6 to play in the first half. Motion for Rasheed Williams, who caught 3 balls in the first quarter. And they're looking for him here on a target in the second quarter, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a great deal of separation that time. Rasheed did not, as Williams was trying to get the ball to him. Threw it low and away, but still couldn't make the catch. Good defense that time.
A lot of transfers on the Colorado State defense, including the player who broke up that pass, C.J. Blocker.
Exactly right.
Played at Utah Lincoln 2 seasons, just 6 games. But he'll have a bigger role on this Rams defense and had an important PBU on second down. So now 3rd and 13. Williams, a lot of time. Now the pocket collapses, and down he goes at midfield. Owen Long again. And Robert Edmondson, a transfer from Prairie View A&M, number 45, was also there.
Well, Colorado State decided to bring a dog, and the Huskies slid the protection to the left. There was still one man that was unblocked. He came in and that caused the initial pressure. But you know what? Here's the thing, Mark. Demond Williams has got to get rid of that football. He cannot take a sack. There was ways that he could get escape on the outside, decide to escape up in between. Nowhere to go.
Jimmy Doherty said yesterday they're stressing to him the importance of getting rid of the ball. He got sacked 15 times in the 2 starts at the end of last season. Fair catch on the punt by Tommy Maher inside the 10-yard line. Next Saturday, Penn State and Ohio State are in action after great starts to the season for both today. Plus, the Dogs square off again, playing on the Big Ten Network against UC Davis. Another late-night game for Washington. All part of a huge quadruple header of football, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. We have seen something very special here in Seattle in the second quarter of the game at Husky Stadium, back where he won a national championship and was honored as an All-American. Lincoln Kennedy was honored in a break earlier in the second quarter, and there he is on the wall of Husky Stadium. Congrats, my man.
Thank you, man. Good times.
Here's a heave. That was not good times for Braden Fowler Nicolosi. Throwing it down the right side of the field, looking for Georgia State transfer Petey Tucker.
Well, it's kind of
Davis with the coverage again.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult when you have coverage like Davis and Prysock on your star receivers. There's not a whole lot of room.
So when you come back here, Lincoln, national championship, All-American here, what do you think about? What do you feel?
You know, it's an honor, honestly, to see it. Football, how it's matured and it's evolved over the generations. Now the Huskies are a part of the Big Ten, and I think it's just great competition for this school. This had tremendous sports here. It was a wonderful place to get an education. I love the fanfare. I love the stadium. A lot of bright memories when I come back here.
And the defense, very nicely done on the swing pass out to Lloyd Avant.
Look at that.
And you see Jacob Lane with the pursuit, Lincoln.
Look at that pursuit from the back angle. There was nowhere for him to go. Blockers are held up at front, but so did the defense. And this is when this crowd comes alive, forcing them to third down and long, and tear open that that pass rush.
Third down and 9. From the goal line, Fowler Nicolosi steps up and then runs right back to the 10-yard line. Central Florida transfer Exree Alexander. He's back home from Auburn, Washington. He had 6 TFLs last year at Central Florida. That's not a tackle for loss, but it holds Fowler Nicolosi to a very, very short gain.
It was man coverage on the back end, 2 deep safeties, and so a lot of the defenders had their backs turned to Nicolosi. Fowler Nicolosi tucked the ball and ran. Just decided to take the ball and run, and there's nothing wrong with that because there was wide open space, but good coverage by Alexander and the Dogs.
Brian Hansen has had a 54-yard punt in this game tonight, and he drives that one to where it's fair caught by Denzel Boston outside the 40-yard line. That punt for Hansen was 49 yards. So obviously, affiliation to the Big Ten or not, you were tuned in to 1 versus 3 in Columbus today, and what a win for Ohio State. 14-7 over the Longhorns. Penn State won big today. Oregon out of the Big Ten, number 7. They blasted Montana State. And there is a loss in the top 10, not only for Texas, but also for Alabama. And by the way, LSU ends a 5-game season opening losing streak. They've lost their last 5 season openers, but number 9 LSU wins at number 4 Clemson, Lincoln, 17-10.
That is an impressive top 10. You had to know if these teams are going to play one another, somebody was going to down, and you saw Texas early loss to Ohio State.
Damon Williams, 41-yard line, incomplete. Past Rashid Williams. And it short hopped off a Colorado State defender who was deeper down the field. I believe safety Jack Jarmalowicz, who's a transfer, Jarmalowicz, from Holy Cross.
Had man coverage. We got man coverage, and of course they are being a little handsy. And it was, you saw the grab by the defender. It wasn't called by the back judge.
Yeah, that short off Jarmalowicz. Now 2nd and 10. Cut back run, Jonah Coleman. First down, Jonah Coleman. Bumped off his feet by linebacker Drew Rodriguez from Salem, Oregon. And once again, Coleman, that was much less about yards after contact, but about the cutback here.
Look at Carver Willis. You see DeGraff get a block on the backside, and Jonah does a great job with his vision. Sees the line get collapsed. Mills does a good job opening up, being that mauler in the middle. Number 72, good job by the offensive line.
Great jump cut leads to a 13-yard run, and now it's hammered right in the A-gap by Coleman. First down to the Colorado State 34-yard line with 2:40 left in the first half.
You know, he plays so much bigger than he is physically, and I have always been impressed by Jonah Coleman. Look at this contact and how he keeps those legs moving. Not a big guy, listed at 190 pounds at 5'11", but he is a strong running back, especially running downhill.
They could take this almost, they could take it down to the 2-minute timeout if they choose to do so, but it appears they will not. Coleman has run for 25 yards on the last 2 plays. Demond Williams flush from the pocket, got away from the rush, steps out of bounds.
Interesting play concept, because I couldn't tell if this was a design run for Demond Williams or if he was looking to go to the pass. They had max protection, really to only send 2 men out in the route.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
Here we go.
It's the 2-minute timeout. We're here in Seattle for the first game of the season, and the Huskies at home lead 14-7. The consciousness of ball security that Demond Williams has shown as a high school and college quarterback is impressive. And also recall that his completion percentage last year, and he threw just over 100 passes. He completed 78% of those, and he's at 79% completion tonight.
I live in Arizona, and I remember watching this young man at Basha High School, which is a really strong program in Chandler, Arizona, watching him. And I was so ecstatic when I found the Huskies were going to get him, such a dynamic playmaker.
Here's second down. Roll left, running 31-yard line. A little bit more on the sophomore quarterback, the potential star, Demond Williams, and Melissa Charleston-Smith.
Well, you're talking about his accuracy. It is in his DNA. Obviously, he did it in high school, but Jedd Fisch says he has a conscience about the ball that's hard to coach. You either have it or you don't. Demond certainly has it. He refuses to turn the ball over. But we did hear Fisch say that he's actually okay with him being more of a 60 to 65% passer, 65 to 68. He'd be okay with that if Demond is getting rid of the ball. And we've seen that a few times where Demond could probably get rid of it a little bit quicker for Fisch's ability to just not turn the ball over. It also means fewer hits on the body. Demond was sacked 19 times in the final 4 games of last season. So that's important for that as well.
Well, he's been sacked twice tonight, but I want to follow up on Alyssa's report with regard to consciousness about taking care of the ball. 8 touchdown passes, 1 interception last year, Lincoln, but the last 2 years of high school, and you just talked about what a great program Basha High School is in Chandler, Arizona. These numbers are mind-blowing. 57 touchdowns, 4 interceptions in his last 2 years of high school.
Well, and there was a missed snap right there that just calls a turnover.
And just when we're talking about that consciousness about the ball, it's a turnover right here.
He was not ready for the snap.
It is recovered by Jaquez Evans, the transfer from Baylor, but the best years of his career were with Tyson Summers at Western Kentucky. And what happened here, Lincoln? The snap by Landon Hatchett goes off Williams, and Evans falls on it.
Well, Williams was given direction to his wide receiver, was not even ready for the ball. I'm not sure what the snap count was, or if Landon thought that thought he heard go or send or whatever they used. But you watch, he's not looking for the football. It's a turnover. Donut gives Jay Norvell the football.
That is his nickname.
That's right.
He was the preseason Conference USA Defensive Player of the Year in 2023 after he had 14 TFLs and 9 sacks playing at Western Kentucky in 2022. Marker down, pass complete, ball out at the 41-yard line. Tommy Maher caught it.
I still think it's going to be a legal procedure, a legal formation.
Illegal formation, 5 in the backfield, offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat, first down.
I believe that's the 3rd time that's happened to the Colorado State Rams tonight. Legal formation. 5 players in the backfield. Somebody's got to cover up those tackles, and they don't in the line of scrimmage. Far side, yes, that's exactly right. Too far back.
2 Washington drives have been stopped tonight. One because of a false start, started sending them backwards. And then a snap that went off Demond Williams, thwarted a drive that probably would have produced points. Jackson Warren is wrestled down after catching it by Devin Bryant.
In that 2-minute offense mode. Jackson was trying to get out of bounds, but good job by the Huskies keeping him inside, keeping the clock running.
That went for 7 yards. Remember, it was 1st and 15, now 2nd and 8. And again, Warren a little behind him, but the 6'8" tight end catches it, but he's held in bounds again. And that was Alex McLaughlin.
Rams are forced to use the timeout. They have a down player here.
Jedd Fisch knows Alex McLaughlin, Lincoln. He offered him as a preferred walk-on at Arizona, but instead he went to Northern Arizona where he was fantastic. FCS All-American, 2-time All-Big Sky Conference selection, 167 tackles in 2 years, 7 sacks, 12 TFLs, 16 pass breakups, 6 interceptions. And Alex McLaughlin's got himself a home in Seattle. We've seen him play very, very well in his first game with the Huskies tonight.
Yeah, another young man out of Arizona, Chandler, Arizona, went to NAU and then transferred to the Dogs. And he has been a nice pickup for them at that safety spot. It's a big hole to fill because there's a lot of times where safeties like Alex have to come down and cover those big tight ends like Jackson Warren, who stands at 6'8", 250 pounds. Good open field tackle by McLaughlin.
Colorado State take a timeout to avoid a 10-second runoff. This is their second timeout of the half.
You just heard David Siegel, the referee. Colorado State is going to use a timeout, so they will not be penalized a 10-second runoff due to the injury to number 10, Tommy Maher, one of the 3 starting wide receivers tonight for the Rams.
You see him in the slot right there as he's crossed in the middle, gets caught up, goes down awkwardly and all the traffic. Looks like he's okay, but just took him a while. The Rams had to use a timeout instead of to prevent the 10-second runoff. Let's hear this crowd come alive.
Just saw Jay Norvell, Colorado State's head coach. His team is 0 for 5 on 3rd downs tonight. Head coach at Nevada, 5 years now, season 4 at Colorado State, and they will convert a 3rd down for the first time in the game on the tough catch by Tay Lanier, who's been forced out of bounds by Davis. But the Rams convert on 3rd and long and go out of bounds at their own 48.
Well, you see the amount of space that's given by Dekario Davis. They ran a corner blitz on the other side, so they had Prysock coming down from the other end, but he just couldn't get there in time. Nice pitch and catch by the Rams.
We mentioned Alex McLaughlin for Washington. It was an NAU transfer. Also transferring from Northern Arizona to Colorado State was Tay Lanier. He played a year early in his collegiate career at New Mexico. Braden Fowler Nicolosi.
Second down.
Well, the crowd might not like that, but it's absolutely true.
Yeah, the closest Rams receiver felt like they were probably in New Mexico, but because he was out of the pocket, there's no intentional grounding.
You see here where the pocket's set up, far hash mark. He releases that ball. Yeah, that's a good call. He's out of the pocket.
Now Fowler Nicolosi will step up, stays behind the line, and another completion. And it's the first one of the night to Levon Brown. Caught 4 passes last year. He's from Sierra Canyon High School. Ronnie James among others. Dwayne Washington Jr. played basketball at Sierra Canyon, then played in the Big Ten at Ohio State.
Well, the Huskies were trying to get an extra man off the field, had to call a timeout to prevent the penalty.
30 seconds. Charge timeout. Washington. Second on the half.
So both teams now 1 timeout left, 32 seconds remaining in the first half. This is a Rams drive that started after a Huskies fumble.
Trying to make subs and already the formation, so smart call by calling a timeout. Mark, they're trying to get their NASCAR package, which is their defensive rush, where they have essentially 4 outside linebackers down, or edge rushers, down on the line of scrimmage to rush the quarterback. Jedd Fisch is trying to figure out how we can close out this quarter without giving up any more points. Go to halftime. set to get the ball in the second half.
Longest field goal for Isaiah Hankins, the transfer kicker for Colorado State, who came in from Baylor. He made a 54-yard field goal during his 4 seasons playing in Waco, Texas. But he's not terribly accurate outside of 40 yards, just 15 of 30 on field goal attempts of 40-plus in his career at Baylor. So obviously they'd like a lot more yardage to make this a more makeable field goal, with the ball at the 36 right now of the Huskies. And it's a little option toss. Jalen Dupree, short gain, out of bounds. Only a pickup of 3, but just a few seconds go off the clock.
And you get closer to your goal, being able to try to kick a field goal maybe. And he's running it against the nickel defense. So rather than try to pass, you run up, get what you can, get out of bounds, and set up. With that timeout, you can still utilize the middle of the field, but you got to be worried about this Husky rush.
They're down at 7. They pick up the Husky rush, and it's complete for a first down for Colorado State. Jackson Warren, the big tight end, at the 18-yard line.
That's what happened. You try to run another instance where you have a corner blitz coming from the short side of the field. Puts a lot of stress on the wider side of the field. And they go to Jackson Warren for the first down, a big grab, and he gets out of bounds.
Stops the clock with 25 seconds left in the first half. Fowler Nicolosi again to Jackson Warren. And tackled in bounds. Nice tackle by Alex McLaughlin. What will the Rams do now? The clock is running. 15 seconds.
And they call a timeout. Their last
30
timeout.
seconds. Charge timeout. Colorado State.
Mark, you got enough time to take a shot in the end zone. And Alex McLaughlin does a good job. He's being tested, going sideline to sideline, space to space, having to cover that much distance against a bigger opponent. Does a good job at wrapping up those legs, keeping his head out of it. Nice shoulder tackle on open field.
So how did Jackson Warren, a 6'8" tight end, arrive in Fort Collins? Well, offensive coordinator Matt Mumme knew him when Warren was a 6'5" quarterback playing at Marcus High School in Flower Mound, Texas. He would have quarterback camps down there. Jackson Warren first went to North Texas, then transferred out to Devera College, a junior college in Corsicana, Texas. And his dad picked up the phone and said, well, he's grown to 6'8" and he's added 50 pounds. What should I do? And Matt Mumme said, send him here to Fort Collins so we can have him as a tight end.
He is a big target.
They are really high on him, understandably. Dupree for the 15-yard line. He cuts back and he's in. Touchdown, Colorado State. What a drive. They can go into halftime in a tie game if they finish it off with the extra points. A turnover results in a drive for a score. Dupree running it in with 11 seconds left in the half.
Great play call by Jay Norvell. Great execution by the Rams offense. One-on-one with the safety. That's all you want. They've had success all night running the football. Got away from it a couple times. The offense had limited success, but you see what happens? The Huskies are still having a hard time stopping the run.
First opportunity for redshirt freshman Jalen Dupree to be a feature back, and he's having himself quite a night. You know, there's so much talk about, obviously, so many new players coming in for Colorado State, and obviously they've had an impact. But this isn't a new player. It's just a young player in an elevated role, Jalen Dupree. And Lincoln, it's not easy to break out of a tackle from Michaela Steen, a sixth-year player and starter on the Husky defense, but Dupree does precisely that.
Well, Steen needs to take a better angle as his tackle can't go up there and be able to lose control and slide down. And when you're the last man, the last resort, but Dupree did a good job evading him, get in the end zone, and as I said before, good play call by Jay Norvell.
Dupree has 85 yards tonight, already more than half of what he ran for all of last season. Now, granted, he did not play in enough games to burn his red shirt. 4 regular season games and their Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl game against Miami of Ohio, which they lost to end the year at 8-5. But Dupree from Malvern, Arkansas, has already run for 85 yards tonight, ran for 153 in his limited time last year, including that touchdown scamper, which was 18 yards. I'm sorry, 15 yards. squib kick. High bounce. Jonah Coleman. Coleman. Forced out of bounds. There's still time on the clock. Forced out at the 37 with 4 seconds left. The big disappointment for the Huskies is one drive that looked like it could result in points started going backwards after a false start penalty in the offense. And that drive late in the first half looked like it was headed for something, Lincoln. And then the snap that went off Damon Williams and ended up being a fumble recovery for Colorado State, Jaquez Evans.
Well, you've seen some good things so far this game, but they also see some things to be concerned with.
Jonah Coleman is wrestled down, and the first half comes to an end. It is tied at 14. Things changed dramatically in the last 2 minutes of the half after the fumble and the Rams drive.
Give Colorado State some credit. They have responded and answered to the Huskies, either down doings or even when they scored. So it's been a great job by the Rams to make this a competitive game. But the Huskies have got their hands full now, 0-0 as they go into the second half.
You know Jay Norvell. He was a tight ends coach at the Raiders when you were playing there.
Exactly. I do know him very well. And he's a great creative offensive mind. So he's going to have this team ready. And they have every reason to be pumped up. This is a 14-14 tie on the road.
He told us Thursday, hey, we're not stressing about this game going to Big Ten country to play Washington. We're going to make it fun. Our guys are excited about the opportunity, and they want to go play there. And they played like it in the first half hour of this game. And it's tied now after the drive late in the half by the Rams. Washington 14, Colorado State 14 on the Big Ten Network. Tonight's Big Impact Research takes us to Seattle. The health of the world's oceans affects all of us, and the University of Washington is home to the country's largest college of the environment, where its students and faculty study all aspects of our planet and beyond. Deployed off the university's research ships, autonomous underwater robots and other tools are helping UW scientists determine how climate change is affecting the oceans and how that may impact everything from the food we eat to the world's weather. One of the great cities of America, Seattle, Washington, the greatest setting in college football, but tonight it is just about a great game between Colorado State and Washington to open the 2025 season, tied at 14. Here's tonight's power performance sponsored by Stanley Steamer. The starting running backs have both carried it 11 times. They both have over 80 rushing yards, and they both have a rushing touchdown in this game. Hi, everyone. I'm Mark Followill, joined by Lincoln Kennedy, former Washington All-American offensive lineman, former NFL All-Pro offensive lineman. Lincoln, Jalen Dupree is not the only one, but he's one of a number of headline performances by the Colorado State Rams, who have risen to meet this moment of this road game to start the season against the Huskies.
You know, Mark, earlier this week we talked with Coach Jedd Fisch, and he said, look, we don't know these guys. It's hard to evaluate when you have so many pieces coming in from the transfer portal, and you talk about the opportunity to play against a new team in the Colorado State Rams. You have to take care. This is a 0-0 game going into the second half, and right now the Dogs have got their hands full with the Colorado State team.
Washington won the toss at the start of the game tonight and deferred their option to the second half. Here's a return from the 6-yard line. Muhammad has room to run. Broken tackle by the kicker, Hankins, and is over the 40. Good field position. This ball will be around the 41-42-yard line as Alyssa Charleston Smith has more from Colorado State head coach Jay Norvell.
Yeah, Coach Norvell is very happy with his team, very proud, especially with so many new players, and he really complimented his veteran quarterback, Braden Fowler-Nicolosi, for the checks that he made in that final 2-minute drive. He wants to keep going with what they're doing. Meanwhile, Jedd Fisch said, we made too many mistakes on offense. It cost us 2 touchdown drives, and run defense has to be better. We're simply not tackling well enough. Another update from Colorado State, Gabe Jones, nose tackle, is out for the rest of the game with a lower body injury.
Well, he'll be missed because he can plug up holes in the middle, and a hole is what Jonah Coleman just ran through to gain 9 to midfield before being knocked down by Jake Jarmanowicz.
Defensive coordinator Tyson Summers comes out with a nickel or a dime look. There's a 3-man front. And you see him bringing in the linebackers. This is a hybrid 4-3 defense, but great push. You see Azzopardi getting the block down the field.
Coleman hit at the line. Crashing down the line was Andrew Lorick along with Jaquez Evans. The transfer, again, he transferred from Baylor, but his best days as a player were by far in Bowling Green, Kentucky for the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky.
You know, when I look at this defense from Colorado State, it's a hybrid of a 4-3 that shows signs of a bare front, that shows signs of a 3-3-5. They can do just about everything with their host of linebackers.
Link, this is a big moment in the game. Early third quarter, tie game, third and short at midfield, and a conversion on the running play for Jonah Coleman.
This is a case where you see Jonah Coleman come downhill, and he's going to use his strength. But good job by the offensive line up front to control the line of scrimmage. There was no penetration. You allow Jonah to come to the line of scrimmage, push ahead for the first down, keep the drive going. That's a real strong attitude run right there, Mark.
Washington trying to win a home opener for the 100th time in school history. They have a fight on their hands. Pressure, hit as he throws. But it is a catch for Denzel Boston. Demond Williams stood in, made a critical throw. Boston hung on to the ball, and they moved the chains to the 34.
A nice pass that time by Williams again. Look and see if he catches it. They're going to look and... Oh, good hands by Denzel. He cups that ball and brings it in. But look at Williams. Take the hit, stand in the pocket, take the shot. Oh, he was. You saw his head jar back. I was glad to see that he took it and was able to get up. Congratulate his teammate for a nice catch.
More pressure from Owen Long. That went for 14 yards to the 34. They're thinking shot. Williams scrambles. Demond Williams. Nice cut in open field. He's got to 20. He's got to 10. And almost to the 5-yard line.
Well, that shows what that young man can do when he's in the open field. This is why Jedd Fisch and his entire staff are so happy to have him at quarterback, a promising future. You saw what he can do with his arms. This is what he can do in open space with his legs.
Can make plays with his feet.
Absolutely.
27 yards on the scramble.
He just wanted to do better not to take those shots from secondary players, but he's running with a lot of passion right now.
First and goal at the 7. Coleman hit at the 5, still going. Not a touchdown, but he puts them right on the doorstep. Coleman driving and fighting down to the 1-yard line.
Oh, great man blocking play. As you see, when Coleman comes downhill and he makes contact, it's with the safety in the hole. Look at this replay. Look at that offensive line. That's power. That is when you pull the backside guard and you just have a bunch of double teams over the front side. And Jonah Coleman does a good job getting behind his guys as he goes for the score.
Oh, it's a little wrinkle. They give it to Cade Eldridge, the player at tight end who transferred in from USC. And Cade Eldridge blocked on first and goal and ran it in on second and goal. Touchdown, Washington.
Eldridge listed as a tight end, lines up in the backfield as a fullback. The I formation very similar to the play they ran before to Jonah Coleman. As you look at it, watch it just giving it to the fullback. It's a simple give. Colorado State's looking for number 1. Number 44 is running the end zone. Great push by the boys up front.
Cade Eldridge caught 3 passes last year at USC. He runs it in for a touchdown from a yard out. The third tight end lines up as a fullback and plunges in from a yard away. Coleman and Williams did a lot of work on that drive, and how about Eldridge? What a big moment for him in his new home, Seattle. Eldridge restores the lead for the Huskies.
Great push up front as they double team into the end zone. Good score by the Dogs.
One-yard run by Cade Eldridge puts Washington in front 21-14 early in the third quarter here in Seattle. Big Ten Plus gives you more with access to more live Big Ten games, more stories, and more highlights 24/7. Tomorrow, Washington's men's soccer team in action against UNLV. Download the Big Ten Plus app today. It's always game on Washington men's soccer NCAA tournament last year. 2 losses. They did draw their home opener the other night against UC Davis with Charlie Kosakoff, who had 5 goals last year, scoring his first of 2025, a second-half equalizer to salvage a 1-1 result in that match against UC Davis. Oh, and the kick goes out of bounds. The kickoff by Ethan Michalski, who's brought in to be a kickoff specialist. Huge leg. Little wedge checked up and bounced out of bounds just shy of the goal line. So Jay Norvell's team has lost 7 straight season openers. That's the longest active streak right now in FBS for a team in terms of losing season opening games. They haven't beaten a Big Ten team since Colorado State beat Michigan State in 1998 when Jay's dad, Merritt Norvell, was the athletic director at Michigan State. Meanwhile, Washington, they've got 20 straight home wins. That's the second longest home winning streak going on right now in FBS. There are 2 really intriguing streaks hanging in the balance in this hard-fought game early in the 3rd quarter. Huskies back up 7, trying to get the crowd involved right now as they hold Dupree to a short gain on first down. Plunges over the 38. Remember, this drive starts at the 35 with the ball going out of bounds on the kickoff.
And one way to take the crowd out is you go back to the run game, which they had success in the first half. Got away from it at times, but one thing that Colorado State Rams have done all night, Mark, is they've responded to Husky long drives and scores.
This is officially 2nd down and 6 for the Rams. Dupree's near 90 yards, but he won't make it to 90 yards and barely makes it back to the line of scrimmage. Jacob Lane.
Well,
3rd down and 6.
Yeah, you saw in that last play that Fowler Nkosi he checked to that run. He wanted to go against the nickel and thought he had the advantage, but there was actually one man short. No one accounted for Jacob Lane, the backside end, and he made the play.
Only 1 3rd down conversion in the first half for the Rams. Tommy Maher is the target and right at the line to gain.
Very close, very close.
It's just enough. Lincoln, it's just enough. Maher, by about a foot, picks up the first down. Leroy Bryant tried to wrestle him down short.
Well, again, the Dogs want to bring a blitz and try to bring the pressure, but still too much of a cushion. Good job by Colorado State adjusting their routes and getting the first down.
Leroy Bryant, the nickelback, made the tackle, but it is a first down. And now, here's an end around, and it's a cut by Ross. Oh, and what a play in the backfield by Alex McLaughlin.
Boy, he's becoming a tackling machine tonight, picking up what he did at Northern Arizona. And this is a great awareness by the defense. More importantly, McLaughlin staying home, recognizing there's something coming on, because he's that backside contained. Good job by number 12.
Hey, man, Jed Fish told us yesterday, said we got to be better in TFLs. We were one of the worst in the country last year. If you went by per game, they were 3rd worst in the nation last year. But Alex McLaughlin with a TFL of -9, and a bullet throw is incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down and 19 coming up. Washington has asserted themselves here on offense and defense, linked to start the 3rd quarter.
Well, Devin Bryant came up big on that last time. I thought he got a little handsy, got away with something, but obviously he did because it wasn't called. There was a lot of contact, and they let him play.
They're going to find it really interesting. Colorado State used Taj Bullock a lot on a drive that was successful for a touchdown in the first half. But we haven't seen the do-everything offensive player Bullock very much since then. Nicolosi up top, oh, and down the seam. Found Jackson Warren, the 6'8" tight end, who absorbed a hit, hangs on to the ball, and converts the first down. 3rd and 19, it goes for 25.
Well, look, there's a miscommunication that time by the Husky defense, because there's a seam route that's running down the middle of the field, wide open, and now the Rams coming back with hurry up. Nice connection.
Jackson Warren's got 5 catches for 52 yards tonight. And look at the numbers for Fowler Nicolosi, that is. That's going to be an incompletion, but a flag.
Yeah, they're going to get him for holding. Definitely going to get him away from holding here. Leroy Bryant, the nickelback corner, was out in space. They were trying to get the ball to Tommy Mayer.
Defense, number 0. 11 plays in the spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
Yeah, Maher comes up big. They wanted to try to throw a tunnel screen. It was taken away, but that's going to get called every time. Jersey extension all over him. That's an easy call.
Great ball camp by Leroy Bryant to earn the starting nickel position for Ryan Walters' defense rather than Rashawn Clark. Hey, Bullock's in the game now.
Wide open.
They're not going to him. They go to Jackson Warren. Touchdown.
That's exactly what happened the last time. The same route. Run a little bit of a, with Bullock in the backfield, run a little bit of a fake. The Huskies think they have the screen read. Hey, diddle, look what's floating down the middle.
You can't miss that target. Jackson Warren, 6'8", 245.
But everyone thinks it's tunnel screen. Look how many eyes are in the backfield, and they're fooled. Jackson Warren goes over the top, easy pitch and catch for the score. And as I said, these Rams have responded every time the Huskies have done something. That's why they're in close to tying the game right now.
6 catches, 79 yards. Jackson Warren had 1 for 25 on 3rd and 19. And then Warren had the 27-yard touchdown reception.
Go back to what works for you.
Look at it.
Absolutely. What works for you? Jackson Warren on that drive has been running down the middle all day, all game, wide open. And that's what happens. The Colorado State Rams answer to what the Huskies did with the touchdown of their own. We got a game.
Jay Norvell's Colorado State Rams just tied the game at 21, and he's got Big Ten all in his DNA. Born in Madison, Wisconsin. Played for Hayden Fry at Iowa in the 80s. Was an assistant coach at Wisconsin, late 80s and early 90s. Father Merritt Norvell, we mentioned earlier, athletic director at Michigan State, 1995 through 1998. We had a great conversation with him when we brought it up the other day, Lincoln, and he said, hey, I grew up, I like to say, in the south end zone of Camp Randall Stadium in Madison, Wisconsin. I can tell you every pep squad routine and song by the band. Here's a return on the kickoff for Washington. Adam Muhammad over the 30-yard line to the 31. Now, unfortunately, we don't have photos of him with the pep squad routines and band songs at Wisconsin.
I know he's thankful for that. But
we do have a picture, though, of him playing defensive back for Iowa, who went and played Washington, by the way, in the Rose Bowl.
Yep.
See some shots from his 4 seasons playing for Hayden Fry and the Hawkeyes, and that great team. And he said, look, I think going and playing in Washington, I always thought they were like a Big Ten team with the physicality of all those Don James Husky teams back in the day.
It's a great test for his young team, and the fact that they had to go through the transfer portal to help build a lot of ways, it's a big-time challenge for them to go on the road to this Big Ten powerhouse.
Right now, Adam Muhammad runs the ball after he had that kickoff return at Colorado State. Remember, they had not been to a bowl game since 2017. He took over in 2022. He's been building each year. They almost made it to a bowl game in 23. They did last year and won 6 of 7 Mountain West Conference games as well, Lincoln.
I've been patiently watching his rise through Colorado State. And
Lamondre Joe with pressure and a sack.
Lamondre Joe comes on unblocked. And then Demond Williams needs to see that, needs to know he's coming from the lower part of your screen right there, unblocked. Not really sure who had the assignment, but an empty backfield, one more than the Huskies can block.
Jay Norvell told us, he said, when we went into the portal, we wanted high character guys, and we wanted players with a lot of experience who were starters at their schools. Lamondre Joe was a starter for much of his 4 years at Missouri State. And now it's Jarmalowicz coming in off the edge, but they got the ball away. Williams found Adam Muhammad, broken tackle, first down. Oh, a huge play, both by Williams and Muhammad. And third and longs have been no trouble for both teams here in the third quarter. Colorado State converted on a 3rd and 19, and a 3rd and long there goes for 33 yards for Washington.
How about Williams doing a good job of getting rid of that ball and getting down to protect himself, staring in the eyes of danger, coming in. Well-timed screen, but he takes another shot. Look at the quarterback here. That's a big shot up high. Probably could have been called, but he was falling down. They turned it into a big play on the screen to Muhammad, first down.
That's a conversion on a 3rd down and 12. Now Jonah Coleman's back in after Muhammad made his presence felt. And Coleman, who had 5 games last year of over 100 yards rushing, has his first this year. He was at 98 before that tote that goes for a first down and moves the chains at the 26 of the Rams.
Oh, what a good block by Denzel Boston on that last play. We get a chance to see the replay.
Gonna go tempo though.
Yeah, they want to go real fast. I don't mind. I'm not mad at him. But Denzel Boston on that previous play to Coleman had a good block on the wing, really opened up the hole. Let's take a look at it. He's impressed by number 12. Watch number 12. He's going to come into your view on the left-hand part of your screen, and he's right there. That's him sealing off. Keeps his hands inside. Coleman follows him in, one-on-one with the safety. Big play.
On the first down run that gained 2, Owen Long for Colorado State just made his 13th tackle of the game. There's a catch by the freshman Desmond Roebuck, his 2nd of the game. The true freshman from outside of Tucson, Arizona. Gained down to the 20. Robert Edmondson, the Prairie View A&M transfer with the tackle for the Ram defense.
Yeah, Mark, on that last play, they tried to do a tunnel screen to the wide side of the field, had some blockers out in front of them, but the offensive line didn't do a good job at assignment of who they had, who they were going to block. Just have to run those screens full speed to get familiar, guys to get familiar with one another.
Huskies converted 3rd and 12 a moment ago. This is 3rd and 4. Backside pressure coming. Williams got away from it. It scrambles for the first down. Forced out by Edmondson again, but Williams reacts well and picks up the first down to the 16 of Colorado State.
He sees a one-on-one coverage at the top of the screen, decides to just pull the ball down because, again, there was a free rusher in the backfield that was surprising him. So the Huskies need to do a better job at signing. Dylan Phelps came in untouched and had a line shot to the quarterback.
A fast-moving third quarter.
Yes, it is.
Touchdown drives by both Washington and Colorado State, and the Huskies are driving again. Going underneath the defense, and lunging to the 12 is Adam Muhammad.
Gain of 4 on first down.
Both teams have had success today running the football, but it's up to this Husky offensive line, this big offensive line that has been collected or created through the transfer portal, to really instill their will on the opposing defense.
Biggest play of the drive was Adam Muhammad's 33-yard reception on a screen pass on 3rd and 12. And he just ran the ball for 4. 2nd down and 6. Just a little bit over 3 minutes left in the third. It was 14 all at halftime. Williams, a lot of time to throw. Looking for Denzel Boston. Finding Denzel Boston, marker down, catch made, touchdown right now.
Even with the contact, he was able to pull that football in. Nice corner route by Denzel Boston. The ball's a little bit behind him. He turns around and makes the adjustment, and that's when the interference happens. And as you take a look at this play develop, look at that. Great concentration and pulls in this catch. Bobbles it a little bit, Mark, but that is a big-time catch from a big-time player.
9 touchdowns last year. Number 1 here. Great concentration to ward off the contact from C.J. Blocker and be able to juggle and catch the ball securely.
That's a nice drive by the Dogs, responded to the touchdown by the Rams.
Well, credit to both teams for 3 excellent drives. Colorado State sandwiched in between. Touchdown drives by Washington.
Damon Williams sets up in the pocket, knows he's got his receiver wide open in the corner. But as I said, a little bit behind him. But even with the interference, it finds a way to score. Dogs are jubilation.
With 3:01 left in the third quarter, a Denzel Boston touchdown reception has put Washington in front by 7. Next Saturday, week 2, Big Ten tailgate live from Penn State. The pregame festivities, that is, in Happy Valley. And then countdown to kickoff brings you the latest from around the conference before the action begins. It all starts next Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. 3 possessions for the two teams, all turning into 7 points on drives here in the third quarter. Washington, Colorado State answered. Washington responds, and so the Huskies own a 7-point lead and are kicking away to Colorado State. Brady Gross is kicking off, not Michalski. Oh, and it's a short kick, bobbled. Colorado State got on it. Drew Rodriguez, a linebacker, is able to fall on the ball after it ricochets off him here, Lincoln.
Well, it was a setup squib where they're really trying to take advantage of seeing if anybody's paying attention, but Colorado State was really aware.
And so it's good field position for Colorado State at their own 43. There's a timeout on the field. Boston with the difference in the game a moment ago. Discounting when Washington just ran 1 play at the end of the first half. There have been touchdowns on 4 straight drives in this game. Colorado State, then Washington, then Colorado State, and the last drive, Denzel Boston with a touchdown reception. I loved our conversation with offensive coordinator Jimmy Doherty yesterday, who said that Denzel Boston has worked hard to be faster, to be stronger, and as he just showed on that touchdown, to attack the football. Taj Bullock is in. Bullock takes a direct snap and runs it. And this drive starts at the 43. And Bullock scampers off to the far side of the field from our perspective and is bumped out just inside midfield.
You know, Mark, Colorado State came in a huge underdog. Washington was ranked by, I think, almost 3 touchdowns favored.
Yep.
But my thing was this, is that you have 2 virtually new teams that went in the transfer portal to address the deficiencies, and they haven't played together. So this is really a toss-up. Colorado State has responded to everything that Washington has done, and that's why they're only separated by a touchdown.
Now Bullock, the transfer from Akron, ran for 6. Now they're going to run Lloyd Avant. He's been more of a factor as a return man on kickoffs than straight up in the rushing game, but he does pick up. No, he's only back to the line of scrimmage here. No pickup. Nothing positive there for Lloyd Avant.
Well, that time the Huskies defense was stout against the run. Surprised that Dupree wasn't in there carrying the ball. The success that he's had against the Dogs tonight. This is a big third down.
They were able to get Samote Pepa, 350 pounds, off the field on the Huskies defensive line. And now Braden Fowler Nicolosi throwing off his back foot and intercepted. Stepping in front of Tommy Maher was McAlistine. 4th career interception for the 6-year senior from Hawthorne, California.
Well, Mark, this time Esteen made up for that missed tackle earlier with Dupree, scored that touchdown in space. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. He read the eyes of Braden Fowler Nicolosi, and he went over and took the ball away. As you watch, Fowler Nicolosi throws it to the highest point, and Esteen comes in, steals it away. Steals it. That's a big turnover for this Husky defense. Great reaction by Esteen.
Much like we were talking about attacking the football with regard to Denzel Boston, Esteen attacks the football as a defender and outleaps Tommy Maher for the interception. Is this a turnover that could swing the pendulum of the game after Washington and Colorado State had traded touchdown drives over the last 4 possessions for the respective teams?
Well, you saw some success out of the Rams earlier tonight running the football, but that time Nicolosi had figured it's 3rd down and long. You got to put the ball in the air. Makes a good read against the coverage, but a great defensive read by Esteen to come up with the interception.
And that's a Colorado State drive that started at the 43. Remember, the squib kick went off the linebacker Rodriguez, who did hang on to the ball for the Rams. They ran for 6 on 1st down. The 2nd down, no gain, was big. And then the Esteen interception on the pass from Maher. Stepping up, Devon Williams. Oh, he's got a lot of room to run. This was easily able to accelerate away from defensive lineman Jack Moran. And safety A.J. Nolan came up to hit him, but not before a long run to the 38 of the Rams.
Well, I'm just wondering if this Jedd Fisch is going to be able to teach this young man to slide, because he is absolutely fearless. As he gets to the next level, he's one-on-one with a safety. You see more quarterbacks, he actually puts his shoulder down and tries to truck him. You see how that young man is so inspiring and such a promise for this Husky future.
Williams has run for 68 yards in the game. And by the way, 412 yards of offense and more now for Washington. They bring in Jordan Washington. Washington does, and a man with such great speed from Long Beach, California. We didn't see that elite speed on display there, but it is a nice gain. Enough for a first down.
Oh, it's called the bunch crunch as we go into the fourth quarter. The Huskies did a good job of collapsing the outside. And now you know you've got a nice long run. And we saw Washington open up a little burst, got to that corner pretty quick. And it's a nice way to end the quarter.
McEllisteen with a big interception. Denzel Boston, an important touchdown. And those two are why Washington lead by 7 going to the fourth. The eyes of the college football world were on Columbus today. Number 3, Ohio State, opened the season with a 14-7 win over Texas, the number 1 team in the Associated Press preseason poll. The Buckeyes' 7th all-time win, including bowl games, and the defending national champions at the top of the Big Ten. Their 6th straight win against AP top 5 teams ties the longest such streak in Big Ten history. What a win for Ryan Day and the Buckeyes today. Start the fourth quarter. First down, Washington leading by 7. It was 2nd down and 1. They had changed it in the break between the 3rd and 4th quarter. That last run by Jordan Washington only officially went for 9, not 10 on the last play of the 3rd. But now they have the first down.
Mark, that play, the Huskies ran 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, still able to push for the first down. Now they open up things, going trips to the wide side of the field.
So DeGraff move across the formation, the tight end. That's where they're throwing, a little behind him and incomplete. Broken up by Drew Rodriguez at linebacker at the last second.
Wanted to go to DeGraff, had him. It was a little bit of a rub route on the outside. The pressure was coming down. And again, as you mentioned, just a little bit behind. If he had put that out in the head, DeGraff would have been still in the end zone. But you saw the Rams show a little pressure off the corner. They got in Williams' face really quick.
Coleman has moved outside, so they go empty. Rasheed Williams caught it. And Rasheed Williams on 2nd down and 10. Works his way all the way to the 16. He's a bit short.
You know, Mark, on that last play, this was a check by Demond Williams, recognizing the defense and seeing that he had outside coverage, man on man. Throws a tunnel screen. He's got a couple of linemen out in front of him. And Williams does a good job at parting and getting what he can. Comes up just short of the first down. Nice positive play.
Jimmy Doherty said yesterday, Decker DeGraff's a willing blocker beside his receiving prowess at tight end, and he helped throw a block. Now Jonah Coleman, another jump cut. That is really in his bag, the jump cut. Coleman wrestled down after a pickup of a first down on 3rd and 1, all the way down to the 5.
Mark, I want you to look at this replay, and I want you to count in your head how long this offensive line holds their blocks. You see they're still tied up with guys. They're still pushing, and Jonah Coleman does a good job following his blockers, finding the vision. Look at those holes. Look at that blocking. That's a great job by this offensive front.
And just in Jonah Coleman fashion, he's balling off tackles.
Absolutely.
And down to the 5-yard line.
Quentin Moore, the other tight end, with a pancake block.
DeGraff in motion. Coleman takes the handoff and hit just short of the line of scrimmage.
And this is going to be a work in progress for Demond Williams going forward. This RPO action that we're going to see in the replay. This is a time where you see the pocket is actually the end of the line of scrimmage is collapsing. If you're Demond Williams, you want to keep that football. You'll be running to the outside. Now watch, as the top of the screen, it all collapses. This, you keep the ball. You keep the ball. This is when the defense shows their teeth, you want to keep the ball on the outside.
315-pound Jernias Tapia, who's from West Seattle. Tonight's a big night for him, obviously. He had a big hand in that tackle. Low throw, incomplete. Jonah Coleman, the intended receiver. We saw Dylan Phelps defending in a coverage situation, but the pass was too low for Coleman to have his best opportunity to catch it.
Well, Williams is normally known for his accuracy. That time is a low pass. You got to give Coleman a chance. See him coming out there. That's just too hard of a catch. Put it on his body so he can turn and run with the football.
There's only 4 incompletions in the game for Demond Williams, 15 out of 19.
Comes the blitz.
It's picked up. Third goal thrown to the back of the end zone, overthrown.
Trying to go to Denzel Boston, the same play earlier that they scored on. Needed a little bit more air, in my opinion. Give him a chance to make the play in the corner instead of running him out of bounds. No, you got man-on-man coverage. He's got to step on him. Put a little bit more air. There was really no way to complete that football. Glad to see Denzel's okay after that hard fall on the sideline.
24-yard field goal attempt. Grady Gross was 18 of 22 2 seasons ago. Was just 18 of 26 on field goals last year. But this is essentially a chip shot 24 yards away, and it's a 2-score lead. 12-11 to play, 10-point lead. Washington up 31-21. Demond Williams, an incomplete pass looking for Denzel Boston on 3rd down, but then they hit the 24-yard field goal. Grady Gross. And so Washington is in front 31-21. Watch this pass to Boston and watch him fall on that camera that's on the ground.
Yeah, it's really hard. There's nothing but cement behind him in that area. But he comes down on the camera equipment and hope he's okay.
Ooh.
That hurts. Hurts me.
Colorado State's first turnover of the game led to 3 points for Washington. Last year, the Huskies forced 14 turnovers and scored after 10 of those 14 forced turnovers. They're 1 of 1 tonight with 3 points after the Mikel Esteen interception. Big hit. Lloyd Avant hit hard on the kick return. Big hit by that man, Ryan Dillard Allen. Let's get a report right now from Alyssa Charleston Smith.
Yeah, on that last play where Boston landed on a camera, he ran off and he looked like he was all right, but the second he got to the sideline and was sort of hidden by teammates, he immediately started limping on that left leg, came over, was attended to by a trainer for that lower left leg, and now I'm seeing they might be scraping some blood off of that same knee. Obviously not what you want to see for a guy that missed the entire offseason recovering from a double sports hernia surgery.
Tommy Maher. And it is caught at the 31. So this drive for Colorado State starts at the 27. Pick up a 4 yards to Maher. He was the intended receiver, remember, on the play where Mikel Esteen had the interception for the Huskies.
I don't think Rashawn Clark could have played it any better. He was just a tad bit for picking off this ball and going into for 6. Tight coverage by the Husky defense.
Lloyd Avant in it, running back. And he picks up a first down. He's thrown out of bounds by Buda Alukta. The transfer from Washington State, played there for 2 seasons.
You know, the Rams tonight, Mark, have had their way running the football. And even though they're down by 10 in the 4th quarter, it's still not a time to panic. They've been able to answer a lot of the Huskies drives and Huskies scoring drives their very next time. It's a good start with getting a first down.
Lloyd Avant ran for a bit over 250 yards last year at Tulsa. He's originally from Humble, Texas, in the Houston area. And we have an incomplete pass here. Jackson Warren, who's caught a lot of things thrown his way, could not secure that. So 2nd and 10 coming up. Zach Durfee.
Nicolosi get rid of this ball in heat, and it looks like, I thought Jackson actually caught it. Never had it, as it just passed through his arms.
Maybe heard those Zach Durfee footsteps.
Might very well be, but you got to pull that in. Help your quarterback.
Been a great night for Jackson Warren, leading receiver for Colorado State. The 6'8" tight end with 6 catches for 79 yards. He had 25 and 27-yard receptions, the latter for a touchdown on a drive earlier in the half. And they're going deep for Warren. Wow. Incomplete.
McLaughlin with tight coverage there was really handsy. Surprised they didn't call it, but they had what they wanted. The Rams did. One-on-one with their tall receiver and the safety. There is a lot of contact being made. Even that towards the end. I'm surprised. McLaughlin's reaching for him right there.
Wow.
Nothing substantial. I guess good no call.
Colorado State down 10 on 3rd and 10. And another opportunity to try to go to Warren with McLaughlin in coverage and another incompletion.
Well, that time Nicolosi was rushed because they had a corner dog coming at him. Had man-on-man coverage on the outside with McLaughlin, thinking you could have your big tight end. As you look at the replay, here comes the pressure. It's coming in on him. Has to get rid of the football. Just miscommunication. They're going for it on 4th down.
They're lined up to go for it from their own 39.
Wonder if you have another pooch kick. Nope, not backed up enough for it.
4th and 10. Just under 11 minutes to go.
Now you're punt. False start.
I think Washington called a timeout before.
Oh. I didn't see that one.
They have pooch punted with Fowler Nicolosi.
Their first of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
And now they've sent the punting unit. Brian Hansen's come out to punt.
Makes sense.
Just not at the stage of the game. Would you agree where you would go for a 4th and 10 and your own 39?
Not when you're backed up. That's why it didn't really make sense to me. It reeked of desperation for the offensive lineup the way they did. And then I was just wondering if they were going to try to pooch kick it. But in that instance, I want my punter out there with a stronger leg to change the field. I don't want my quarterback because I'm on the plus side. You know what I mean?
Yes, so absolutely.
That's why it's imperative that you have the punt team after Washington called the timeout. Punt team is out there to do their stuff.
No, now the offense has come back out.
Back out, my fault.
Wow. They had the punt team out, now the offense is back. Rams have lost 7 straight season openers, the longest such streak in FBS. Washington's won 20 straight home games. First they were going to go for it, then they were going to punt, now they're going to go for it. 4th and 10. And this is the real deal. They are going for it, and it's caught. First down, Colorado State. And then leaping in the air after the catch, P.D. Tucker from Baltimore, and then a transfer from Georgia State, and O.K.J. Norvell. What a decision and what execution.
Great execution by the Rams offense that time. And you see the hurry-up pace trying to catch this Husky defense sleeping.
That's 24 yards on 4th and 10 from their own 39-yard line to P.D. Tucker. And through the hands of Maher, incomplete.
Now you go back to that 4th down conversion play. Yeah, trips to the wide side of the field. Look how the communication breaks down the Husky coverage. A deep dig route comes over the top of Maher. It's enough for the first down, then some.
But Colorado State was not bashful last year. They went for it 29 times on 4th down and made 18. Colorado State was in the top 20 in FBS in number of 4th downs converted last year. Lincoln, I don't think they were going for many 4th and 10s in their own end of the field, though, as Ontario Thompson just made a tackle on a running play by Avant.
It just shows you the confidence that Coach Jay Norvell has in his quarterback. Braden Fowler Nicolosi has experience, and he has a good arm.
He's got 26 starts, including tonight's.
Absolutely.
He's got a great chance to be the all-time leading passer in Colorado State history. He wants more yards to add to his number tonight, but nowhere close to being on target. Receiver thought he was interfered with. That's Tucker, who had the 4th down catch.
Well, Prysock and Davis are 2 of the best corners in the league outside in the United States, and they're physical. both standing over 6 foot, know how to play physical. That time, Krysock took him out of the route.
Well, P.D. Tucker was getting an earful from the wide receiver coach, James Finley, when he came to the sideline. Now watch this, because Taj Bullock, he's not the normal holder.
There you go.
So this is a 4th down. This is at the 34-yard line of Washington. Hankins, the kicker's in motion. Bullock's got it. They're going for it on 4th down. Sack! The sack by Rashawn Clark. Colorado State wanted to go for trickery. Rashawn Clark, who played all of 1 game last year, met the moment.
Comes from his nickel spot outside the perimeter. Comes in for a big tackle for loss. You see the kicker go in motion. Rashawn Clark goes up the field, and he is untouched on the way to Bullock, the quarterback.
Huge moment for Washington. They have the ball and a 10-point lead with 9:35 to go. A 4th down play that did not work. They had one that worked earlier on the drive, but Jay Norvell tried Taj Bullock lining up as the holder, the backup quarterback, running back, wide receiver Bullock. And he was sacked by Rashawn Clark. We're going to look at the play in a moment, but first let's see what Washington does with the ball at their own 48, up 10, under 10 to play. Jonah Coleman will run it and move it into Rams territory. And then he's hit by McKindy Wakalunji, the redshirt senior, the only returning starter on defense for Colorado State. Here you go, Lincoln.
I want you to pay attention to the circle of the screen. Now, Ryan Connell is a tight end listed, and Krysock does a good job of covering him. But watch the kicker at the top. He's running a seam route, and even though Bullock that's not his primary go-to, is wide open. Should have tried to take a chance rather than taking a sack, but didn't have enough time to find him. Good creativity by Jay Norvell, just poor execution.
Throwing the ball to a kicker on a go route.
It can happen these days.
Here's a quick pass, it caught. Tackled by Robert Edmondson. On the grab by tight end Decker DeGraff. Last year he had 15 catches, 3 touchdowns after he had an excellent adventure of a high school career in San Dimas, California.
Did you see Azzopardi get out on that screen and out on the perimeter? Was headhunting for one of the small defensive backs. I like that.
Offensive tackle to the 2nd level against a defensive back. I know you like that, Lincoln.
Absolutely.
Jonah Coleman, 1st down on 3rd and 1.
It's like seeing a deer. It's like having those instances, Mark. It's like seeing a deer frozen in headlights. And they look at this offensive line, just rake these guys in front of them now. They are pushing and still in their will. Man blocking.
1st and 10 from the 36-yard line.
Landon Hatchett, the center, had a nice block. John Mills, the true freshman at left guard, was at the 2nd level.
Going backwards. DeGraff moved early.
Ball start. Offense. Number 86. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
The 6th Washington penalty of the game. Haven't been a lot of penalty yards. That's just 34 penalty yards.
Look at DeGraff circled right there. Just a little bit premature. Does a little movement. Oop. Got to hold your water.
Back to the 41-yard line and a 1st and 15. Midpoint of the 4th quarter. Audric Harris is in. He was in motion. But this is Jonah Coleman. Picked up the 15 yards and a lot more. And he bowling balls off A.J. Noland. Still going. Jonah Coleman is in. Touchdown, Washington.
He wasn't down. They thought he was down. Jonah kept moving. Did all of this on his own. Great blocking up front to block the box and the perimeter by Denzel Boston. But Jonah Coleman did all of this. Let's watch it as the end of this play. Colorado State thinks they have him down. There hasn't been nothing to say. Oh, it might be a little bit that butt cheek might have touched, but Coleman shows great awareness, still pushing forward. We'll see if it is, but this is the instance where you might see that butt cheek, might see it hit the ground. Looks like there was a Colorado State. Nolan was under him. I don't know if he did. They're checking it out.
It's either a touchdown or down by contact. Could be down by contact at the 3-yard line.
Could very well be, but you know what? He runs with such ferocity. He's so fun to watch. So fun to watch. I don't know. It's so hard to tell. I don't know if he was down in that instance.
Well, as referee David Siegel looks at the monitor and there's communication with the second-year Big Ten Replay Center in Rosemont, Illinois, our rules analyst Steve Strimling joins us. Steve, is there enough to change this call?
Yeah, I believe so.
I think
at the shot. Yeah, I think at the shot we're seeing, and Rosemont's going to take a look. That left calf is down, and he's about the 3-yard line. We get a good look at that. Possibly, as Lincoln was talking about, there could be a little bit of a cheek down as well, but that left calf is down at that point. I think they're going to move this back to the 3-yard line.
I think you're spot on, Steve.
Yeah, I see that now.
After further review, the runner was down. The ball at the 3-yard line. First and goal at the 3-yard line.
Well, it's no secret. They're going to reward him, give him the ball again. We'll see what Colorado State does to try to stop it, but this isn't hard to tell.
10 rushing touchdowns for Coleman last year. He already has one tonight.
And to be honest, as an offensive lineman, I want it. I want the responsibility. Call it again.
First and goal from the 3. Well, he just had to wait a few seconds.
Will not be denied.
Jonah Coleman runs it in. 17 unanswered for Washington, and they lead 38-21, or will if they hit the extra point.
Now they're creating some separation between them and this feisty Rams team, Colorado State. You see, this is just an attitude. 12 personnel, man on man, score with your man, put them in the end zone. Great job by the big boys up front. Great running by Jonah Coleman. Way to finish the drive.
It looked like he had finished the drive with a long run of 41 yards on the prior play. But after the appropriate replay ruling moved the ball back to the 3-yard line, Coleman then ran it in on the next play. The Huskies, with that 3-yard run by Coleman, have just gone over 500 yards of offense tonight. 502 for Jonah Coleman and the Washington Huskies, who lead 38-21. We've just gone past 11 o'clock Pacific time, and Washington is up the lead to 38-21. Well, the guys with the final drive on this very late night of the opening weekend will recap the entire day around the conference. Tonight after football, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. We're out here on the West Coast. We were watching Big Ten football at 9 o'clock this morning.
Yes,
Lincoln.
It was a good time. Good time.
14 hours later, we're still rolling. Big boot here by Michalski on the kickoff. 6:57 to go to the sideline with more on Jonah Coleman. Here's a report from Melissa Charleston-Smith.
Day, and after the latest one, he made sure to touch the hand of every single offensive lineman, dap them up, and say thank you. Y'all are my boys, is what he said. And he did that earlier after a long run that didn't result into a touchdown. But you can tell Jonah Coleman is a guy that is thanking the big guys up front. And I think he's having fun tonight as this offensive line has really found a groove.
Carver Willis at left tackle, John Mills at left guard, Landon Hatchett at center, Garen Hatchett, his brother, at right guard, Drew Azzopardi at right tackle. They're not the only ones who have played, but they are the starters. And they plowed the road on that touchdown run by Coleman as Colorado State runs the ball for 5 yards on first down and a gain by Jalen Dupree.
Well, now the game is a little further away from them. They can't really rely on run, or unless they're going to do a hurry up, but you still see the promise. The Huskies are going to have to address this in the future games. Jalen Dupree has been running around a lot tonight.
The Mikel Esteen interception. Big play here in the second half of the game. Rashawn Clark had a sack for a big play here in the second half of the game on 4th down, and he just made a tackle on a catch by Levon Brown.
What
gain of first down, though.
Going forward, Mark, what the Huskies need to realize, you can't give up 5 yards on first down and make it a manageable situation, hoping that you can still have your defense out there doing its job. Makes it that much more difficult. Have to stay ahead of the chains for the defensive standard.
Option, toss. Fowler Nicolosi to Dupree and nowhere to go. Jacob Lane.
That's how you do it right there, Mark. You start with a tackle for loss on first down. You see the Rams try to run a little bit of an option, and Lane does a good job at using the sideline as his ally and brings him down for a loss.
Good assignment football on the option run. Just saw Alex McLaughlin a moment ago. He's had a fine Washington debut. Safety transfer from Northern Arizona University. Oh, deflection nearly intercepted. Buda Alukta did have 4 interceptions in his 2 years in Washington State. He's got good hands for a linebacker, but that was a tough catch after it ricocheted off the Colorado State receiver.
Yeah, Aluduka was right there, could have came down with it. Look, he's still trying to show some great concentration, reach out for it, almost came up with the pick. But good pressure by the Dogs up front.
Went right off Levon Brown's body. Throw by Fowler Nicolosi. Good defense. Alex McLaughlin got a hand in to break up a pass intended for Jackson Warren.
I tell you what, McLaughlin is playing well tonight. The Northern Arizona transfer is doing well against their all-pro tight end. Well, all-college tight end. I'm sorry. Speaking of the pro game, he's big like a pro. Standing 6'8". Oh, McLaughlin does a good job. There you go. Got to go for it on 4th down now.
4th down and 12. Fowler Nicolosi rolling, throwing, and it is caught. Tommy Maher, 1st down and out of bounds.
Good combination route that time by the Rams. Maher going up against the nickel defensive back Rashawn Clark. Just runs a little bit of a stop route. Gets right to the pylon, right to where you need. The pylon is a 1st down marker and turns around. Gives a big target for his quarterback.
Gain of 15 on 4th and 13. Perhaps the door remains ever so slightly ajar for Fowler Nicolosi and the Rams offense. There's an incomplete pass throwing to the far sideline. Transfer from Brown University in Rhode Island, Jordan McIntyre.
Intended for Jordan McIntyre.
Tried to toe tap on the line, but he was out of bounds when that ball came to him.
McIntyre didn't see any action last year, but in 3 seasons before coming to Colorado State last year, McIntyre caught almost 50 passes playing at Brown. 4:41 to go. Rams their own 49. There's movement prior to the snap.
Ball start. Offense number 54. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
The 5-yard false start penalty.
I think in this case it was probably left guard and right tackle, but I saw a lot of guys moving. So I saw the right guard move. Everyone but the center. The center was the one that was wrong.
There's Liam Wortman, starter at right guard. 35 starts at Central Missouri, transferred from that D2 school to Colorado State. Back foot throw, Fowler Nicolosi. Good tackle, Rashawn Clark on the catch by Tommy Maher.
When you can't stick to him so tightly to where you can't deflect the pass, the next best thing to do is to make an immediate tackle, and that's what Clark did on that time.
.420 and counting, 3rd down and 11. Talking about Colorado State having lost 7 straight season openers Two teams with long losing streaks and season openers ended those streaks tonight. More on that in a minute. Fowler Nicolosi running out of room. Devin Hyde chasing him from Menlo Park, California, and forced him out for a loss.
Oh, great pursuit by the true freshman, Devin Hyde. You see him, he's going to chase him down. He sees his collapse inside, but he does a good job at running down the line. Running down the line, taking the angle away. He does a good job of pushing the quarterback out. Nicolosi had nowhere to go with the football and couldn't turn the corner quick enough.
4th and a long way to go. 4th and 18. The faintest of hopes could be extinguished here for the Rams. Got away from Jacob Lane. Nicolosi back across the field. Incomplete.
Wow.
Had a receiver open on the ground. Tate Lanier.
Wide open. Nicolosi did a good job at evading the rush. But there was a broken down on the backside. Coverage wide open. Look at this. You have this much time. It shouldn't be this simple, but there is no purple jersey in the area. Really fortunate that Laner couldn't come up with that football.
Going into the weekend, LSU, shockingly, they play some great teams in their openers year in, year out, but they had lost 5 straight season openers, but won tonight against Clemson. Rice had lost 6 straight season openers. Rice won tonight. They beat Louisiana, the Ragin' Cajuns, 14-12. But Colorado State, in 3 minutes and 18 seconds, it will be 8 straight season opening losses. Doesn't mean that there's still not some good football that can be played by the Rams this year. We saw it tonight. That was a nice job by Damon Williams to get away from a sack and then find Adam Muhammad for a 4 or 5 yard play on first down.
You turn around, if you're Muhammad, like, wait a minute, don't get me killed, throw it out of bounds. They'll take the positive yards. Good heads up play.
Aiden Hector, Moso Oipala Tuatele, transfer from New Mexico. Part of that tackle as well. 2nd and 5. There's still a 2-minute timeout.
Yep, you just play the clock. Got another play you have to do before the 2-minute timeout. Use the clock to your advantage, finish this game and go on.
Braden Vines-Bright went in motion, the true freshman starting at receiver tonight. But it's all about running the ball and running the clock right now.
Muhammad, nice strong run. Coming in for Jonah Coleman. Now he's running off a little bit of gip in his step, so I hope he's okay.
He'll be going out of the game as the game reaches the second half 2-minute timeout. A 3rd and 1 coming up. Since it was tied at 21, the Huskies have scored 17 in a row.
This is a separation they've been looking for, Mark.
Yep.
They got to finish this out in the next 2 minutes.
McElestine, Jonah Coleman, Denzel Boston, all part of this separation in the second half. Thanks so much, Dave. 2 minutes left in this game with Washington's 17 straight points having put them in front by 17. The McElestine interception, the failed 4th down, I hate to call it a fake field goal because it was obvious when Bullock was out there as the holder that there was no intention of going for a field goal on that play earlier in the second half.
I don't know if he got enough for it.
Yeah, Jordan Washington's in. You mentioned that Muhammad had a little bit of a limp when he went out of the game before the 2-minute timeout. So Jordan Washington's in. They don't have Jonah Coleman in because he's the hardest working player, sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance. He's earned these last couple of minutes off after what he's done all night long, the way he's run the football.
No doubt. I love his passion. I love his ferocity. More importantly, I love his patience as he's hitting holes and making defenders pay if you're going to tackle him.
2 touchdown runs and a big number on the ground tonight for Jonah Coleman. And they'll go on the jet sweep. Braden Vines-Bright needs to stay in bounds, but did not. Bumped out at the 30.
Right now, the Rams are just daring the Huskies to throw the ball. Knowing they want to run out the clock, they are stacking the box. Huskies tried a little bit of a jet sweep to get on the outside, but the Rams did a good job of defending it. And as you mentioned, force the ball out of bounds to stop the clock.
By the way, they've updated the numbers now on Jonah Coleman. The official line tonight for Coleman: 23 carries, 166 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jordan Washington, another running play. Short gain. Knocked down by Edmondson, the linebacker. There's Coleman. 166.
Not a bad day.
Career highs.
Not a bad day.
Washington career highs, that is, for Jonah Coleman.
Yeah. 23 rushes. He is the heartbeat of this offense. If they can keep him going, get this offensive line to shore up protection many times, and find a way to speed up Damon Williams' release, get rid of the football, you see the most beautiful formation in football right now.
Victory formation.
Absolutely.
And a knee taken by Damon Williams. So this is his first win as a starting quarterback. He started 2 games late last year. Losses to Oregon and Louisville.
Yeah, it was a good outing. Did a good job. They took on a very feisty Colorado State team that really wanted to come in and make it interesting for the Dogs, and they did for almost 3 quarters before the Dogs pulled away. But that interception was the true turning point in the game.
Yeah, Esteen's interception.
Exactly, and then just the miscues. Sometimes trying to be a little too creative with the fake field goal look. You know what I mean? But he had a wide open kicker down the back end of the route.
6-7 record last year for Washington. They're off on the right start this year. 1-0 as they win 38-21. 21 straight home wins. The second longest home winning streak in FBS active. Nice game by Zach Durfee. You see him in the middle of it tonight. And Jedd Fisch obviously feeling good, and we'll hear more from him. Alyssa Charleston with Jedd Fisch down on the field.
Yeah, Coach, you said before this game you didn't know exactly what you had with your team, but you thought you were good. You didn't know until you go against another opponent. What did you learn about your team?
Yeah, I think they're good too. I think Colorado State's got a good football team. I think we did some good things. The second half we played better than we did in the first half. We, still too many self-inflicted wounds that we're going to get better at. We're going to improve, but for our first game, we set a good foundation.
What would you say were the big things from offensively from the first half to the second half that you got better at?
Yeah, well, I think that we continue to run the ball well. We stayed with the run. We didn't turn it over. We didn't have a sloppy play at the end of the drive, and I think our penalties, we started limiting them, so got better there.
Defensively, you got an interception and then a big play on 4th and long to turn them over. What did you think of your defense?
Yeah, they had to make some plays, make some stops, and they did that. So the 4th down and 19 was a good sack. And then certainly the interception that Mikel made really changed a lot of the game.
Coach, congrats on 21 straight wins at home.
Awesome, thank you.
Guys, back to you.
And not only 21 straight home wins, but 100 wins in home openers for the Washington Huskies. Jedd Fisch and the fam with something to celebrate, and they'll look ahead now soon to UC Davis. Tonight's final score, Washington 38, Colorado State 21. For my man Lincoln Coleman, the former Husky, and our whole crew here in Seattle, Washington, I'm Mark Followell. Thanks for tuning in to the action, and the night is not done. It's time now for the final drive on the Big Ten Network with Dave Ripson and Howard Griffith. 1-0 for Washington after tonight's win.